Alrighty, Neb Nerds, we are back at it again with some more silliness going for the Wednesday Day stream today. I see that we've got some friends in chat. Hello, Meg, spraying with the bottle. Ow! Ag! We got Crystal asking for a meow. You'll get that in 1 second. Sad cat noise. Anyways, we've hopped into the lobby on Banana Nebulous over here. Got Ruby Shelf, the large version. A bit of a hell stack, because I recognize some of the enemy players here. They're in a voice call. A couple friends of mine is there. Say hi to Rory, Sped, and Meaning, whatnot. I'm playing with just basically whoever filled up the lobby, so we're going to see how this goes. Most likely going to end poorly for me, but I mean, that's nothing new with me streaming, so we're just going to ready ourselves up and see where we go. I'm not sure what they were talking about really in chat, and to be honest, I don't exactly care. I'll just kind of show off the fleet that I'm trying to go with here. So this is my, I believe, 4th or 5th iteration of support insult. I haven't quite finished it. So it all starts with the lovely balanced complaint form generator, the Afar Distant, a bulk freighter here with triple mass driver turrets. This thing is designed to, as the name would imply, generate balanced complaint forms. Oh, see the salute in chat there. That's right. Nice to see you. We got ourselves just this thing to essentially act as kind of like our command ship. We've got these mass drivers, which have a very long projection range. A couple little T-20 guns just to clean up anyone that wants to charge us. We've got enough ammo to last the match, I hope. We're going a little bit cheap here, but we're trying to make it happen. We've got an intel center, gun plotting, plant controls, basically all the support modules. I am a little bit greedy, actually, with the number of restores I've taken on this. You don't need a large DC storage or complex. I just decided that I like having it, so I got it. Rest of the fleet, we just got kind of your awareness assets. We got a long-range track tug here with double track correlator, so this gets me a very good lock at distance. We've got early warning radars 1 and 2, so these have a kind of similar role to the spotty over here. The long-range track in this case is very accurate, versus these are much less accurate, but give me just a general awareness of where the enemy is. They kind of work in tandem. This is my search, and then this is my focus fire lock. We've got a sweeper tug, which I very much enjoy using. I've recently started using this as kind of like a tech piece to guard control points. Got a mine layer on the bottom. It's got a little chaff box on top. And, you know, I just realized what I can run in this thing. Where's my spin bonkers? Yeah, so the spin bonkers, size 1 offensive missiles, I've recently started really getting a kick out of. We're just going to take off some anti-missile missiles for this, being as greedy as we possibly can get away with and whatnot. I can get one more spin bonker there, I think, so I will. These are very effective missiles, so I like them. I guess we could take like 1 or 2 more things. Let's take some more chaff on you, I think. Yeah, that's probably too much chaff, but that's okay. We'll just save this fleet now. So yeah, we got our little sweeper. We've got, I believe it's a pair. Yep, 2 pairs. 2 pairs of shuttles, one of which is a pair of rocket shuttles over here, which I should deploy in groupings so that I don't forget. You are going to group with you about like so. And then we have our 2 little naked scouts. I'm a big fan of these, so we're going to go with them. Yeah. See the lobby getting back ready to start, so we're going to ready ourselves up and yeah, go with it. We've got okay, we're turning off uniform. You know what? This is going to be weird. We're going to be playing with some ANS stuff and some OSP stuff because uniform factions are turned off. This is going to look weird, and I'm totally here for it. Hello, Frozen Garden. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's do this. Yeah, this is going to be strange because normally we don't have ANS and OSP on the same team. But I think that because they've got a bit of a sort of stackulous advantage with them being on comms and stuff, we're going to try and play with it. We can see we've got a couple observers happening here. So, yeah, this might be a weird one. It's very strange to see OSP and ANS ships on the same side. Like, we've got 3 Vauxhalls and a battleship. I don't really know how this is going to play out. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. Taking a big sip of water there. You two should stay hydrated, chat. I personally I'm just saying it'll be funny. And it'll be funny is a perfectly viable reason to do pretty much anything. Oh. We lost one. No. Oh, we gained one? Okay, they just dipped in and out. Alright. Maybe they just didn't know how to select fleets? I don't know. Either way, we will get this game underway soon enough. Why are we voking somebody? I don't know why they're voking that. That doesn't make any sense. They're just spectating. Good. Anyways, we're just chilling. Gonna ready ourselves up and all that. They just say AFK at that? I don't think they were. Either way, they've still not readied up yet in that, so we'll get ourselves underway and all this in a bit. We are playing on the kind of new custom map, Ruby Shelf. This map is still going through a couple iterations as far as I'm aware. I've talked to the guy who made it, Killer Banana, I believe is his name, and he's taken some interesting approaches to it, going for the whole, like, big spooky red thing. It's a 6-point map, if I remember correctly, which is a little different than most of the maps in game because a lot of them are 5-pointers. There's a couple 4-pointers, but they play very weirdly. It's strange how just like the difference of 1 capture point can make a map completely swing. Ruby Shelf is, as the name would imply, it's a big shelf of ruby. There's 2 control points in the midfield. One is on top, one is on bottom. It gets this very interesting kind of like divided battle space thing. So just waiting for everyone to ready up. Yeah. We're going to see how this goes. Okay, they're doing team mixing as well, so this is going to be a really weird, wacky game. I don't know what to expect here, so yeah, we'll see. I'm going to call him Staculus, yeah. We're going to get into this game, hopefully, in a moment or two. As everyone knows, we all play this game for the lovely nebulize fleet command, where you just end up sitting here thinking about which fleet you want to select and which one you want to take. Then you just kind of, like, keep humming and hawing over things. You're like, I don't know. Do I really want to take this fleet? I might not. I might want to take this one instead. And you spend, like, 5 minutes in the editor, and then everyone's waiting up on you. We all know how it goes. It's nebulize fleet command. Yeah! Anyways, in all seriousness, hoping the crew over here will ready up in a second. It's going to be a silly game, but I mean, it's also a game where I'm in it, so it's going to be a little bit silly to begin with. Yeah. I'm going to use the old MechWarrior Online trick where I wiggle my ears back and forth, and that makes the game load faster. For those of you who are tuning into my stream and expecting quality content, yeah. I don't know what you expected. I am a cat boy in a cardboard box with spaceships. Oh, we lost another one. I guess they're just trying to go uniform factions. Let's see. I mean, like, I'm not... I mean, they are being kind of rude. Okay, we didn't vote on that, but I will say this, like, I kind of wanted to do the non-uniform factions because it looked kind of funny, but at the same time, if we end up just going this way, then this is fine too. We'll just wait for another person to hippity-hop their way in here, and yeah, we'll get this kind of underway. I don't expect to win this one, just given, well, I know these players on the other team, Meanie, Spadicy, and Rory, played together quite a lot. Hung out with them, I believe it was last night or the night before. I've talked to Nebulous and whatnot. They're fun. That said, there is just the kind of... Well, I won't call it, like, full Staculus, but there's a definite, like, experience difference in games where you get people who have played together a whole lot versus people who just kind of, like, randomly hop in and whatnot. So you could do the whole, like, ooh, rank bar thing. I'm just saying it now. I am almost Commodore. I will not call myself an expert at the game. I will say that I'm experienced, but I am also a little bit, I'm clownable. Let's just go with that. Just gonna... I'm gonna say don't be mean. Again, we don't have uniform factions ticked here, so we can get away with this being just fine. Real comps. I'm gonna say it's like try to be diplomacy. Yes, I will say they are rude, but at the same time, just people be nice to each other. That's all we ask. So, all right, we're just gonna wait for one more. I'm assuming because we've got Corwin in a spectator slot, this shows up as a full 10 lobby, so we're probably not going to end up getting another one for a little bit here. So we'll go a little bit more nebulous. That said, we know how this works, so I'm gonna hop into the editor, and then no doubt we're gonna get another person to join. Then everyone's gonna have readied up and be waiting for me. So we all know how nebulize fleet command works. As you can tell, we kind of went over the fleet already, but just taking a look at our stuff. I'm quite a fan of the little cheap 86-point cappers. These are just the minimum investment possible, and I really like including pretty much just one of these in every one of my fleets possible because it's the bare minimum investment I can do to control a point. It might not live very long, but for the time that it is alive, it does mean that I can contest a point against a fully armed battleship or something similar. It might not live to, see the next, well, I don't know, 5 seconds or so. But if I just need to send the bare minimum assets over to cap somewhere and the enemy doesn't, then I've spent far less to have greater gains than they have. Minimum thing a ANS fleet is going to send is probably a Corvette worth 200-ish points because, well, Corvettes just are kind of not cheap. That said, this thing is just incredibly cheap, so we just throw this at a control point we don't expect to take, and then that's just kind of our offset. It also serves as a dual-purpose scout. If I wanted to, I could grab a civilian reactor and a Bridgemaster radar. I could also then possibly equip it with a Scryer for a little bit more extra HP and whatnot. But the idea behind that is then I'm able to send this thing over and scout out the enemy versus just the minimum investment cap point. That said, that is 20 more points. Oh, look, we got an 11th. Yippee! See, I told you it'd work. You just have to send the editor and it makes it happen. All right, let's ready up. So we're going to be trying to run a combination sort of cappers and mass drivers. So we've got about 1,300 of our points invested in this mass driver thing and just trying to mostly make the enemy capping assets get knocked out by it. Mass drivers are very good at swatting the kind of light threats. So, just going to, well, okay, what do we think, chat? Do we think we should try risking it for the Discord? Now, I have not met these people before. I try and get some vetting process before I get somebody on the stream, and that, again, sometimes it's fight night gets a little bit silly, but we're going to go ahead and see if we cannot get some things going, but... Meow, 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 meow. All right. So, we're going to just stay off comms for the moment. Going to try and, just, stay chatty and that. But we'll see how this goes. Okay. I'm expecting them to be coordinated, so we're going to have to hit them with our uncoordination, which in turn will make them unexpected. Yes. Remember, even the best players in the world are not immune to being good old American cheesed. That's why in StarCraft, the best players, some of the guys who are in Korea playing professionally, they will still come to North America to learn the silly cheese builds. Right, so as you can see here, we've got the 6 capture points. We got the divide in the middle here, the A and B points. We got our C point being our natural, D point being their natural, and then F and the E are kind of these offsides where we have to contest them. So yeah, cheese. So, I'm going to deploy my mass drivers up here. You can see our battle group going over here. We're going to send our minimum investments. All right, now, the question is, how do I want to do this? I think that where was it? Okay, so narrowband, I think it's the Spoil of Lydia was our little mine tug. So we'll do that. Let's see, Earnest Warning, Distant Gaze, Narrowband. I think Narrowband is our spotter, so we'll put them over here. We'll get the Distant Gaze and the Earnest Warnings set up top here. I'm expecting them to have pinards, so I'm not going to turn on my radars immediately. As for the Fire Drift and the Order and Set, these are going to be our minimum investment cappers. So we will just send those off to basically race towards these side points and get a sense of what the enemy has to offer. I'm not expecting to win the middle fight, although with that said, I think that I could contest at least 1 point. If I send double rocket shuttle to the A point, I should be able to take that fight favorably. I say should, because I have mass driver support. We're going to see how it goes. I'm thinking I'll just give up the B point here because I don't have quite enough stuff to control all of it. I'm just going to try and play for the A side and decide that, yeah, B point is not worth it. We have minimum investment going to the F and the E points, so if we do end up racing there and getting a cap, then we win on that angle, but I'm also expecting the enemy to have various tools there. That said, we can see our allies are deploying a couple of their assets as well, so if we just rush over there and contest the point long enough for our allies to clean it up, we should be good. With our mass driver support across the top here, we can hit hopefully all 3 points, just given the angling. As you can see, the F point has a little bit of cover over here, making it more difficult for our mass driver to rain on that. That's a recent change, I believe, because I don't think those rocks were there before. That, or I just don't remember the map. It's still in the development phase, going through multiple iterations, so it could entirely be that they've just changed around a few things. Anyways. Just see where we go on stuffs. Yes. Possibly they are sending a proper cap ship. In my case, just making sure that I've got the minimum investment. That's part of the idea of this fleet. I just want to make sure that every point that I can contest is contested. B point kind of being the underside area. Just due to like people's perception of things naturally, they're going to not favor the B point as much because it's on the bottom of the map. You can do this where you flip the map over and then it changes your entire perspective of things. But that said, we'll flip back to what I believe was our default drop-in. Enemies probably deploying somewhere over here-ish. Most likely a similar formation to our own. Yeah. We're just waiting for the last of our peoples to ready up. Yeah. Alright, you can see our little rocket shuttles coming in here with our lovely face on the side, Pavise turrets on the top, and then rocket barrels here. So my goal with this is to either hunt down a enemy light asset and just dump enough rockets into it that it will not be able to defend me, or to try and find a waiting beamstone and then hopefully take it out. Alright, let's see. So the balanced complaint form is going to go up here along with our lovely Tug Spotty. Unfortunately, these do not have their nicknames in the deploy screen, so I have to try and remember them. We're going to send our sweeper down this way. I will set these with a little bit better orders in a second. I'm just getting them underway. And as for you, you're going to go over here. There we are. So now that we've gotten that under control, let's see. Fleet number 6, you're going to be going over here. So I could just send them full speed towards the A point there, which, to tell you the truth, I kind of like the idea of, okay, we're going to set you to hold your fire. We're going to set your heading that way. And then, ideally, we'll be able to have your balanced complaint form weapons firing on the A point here. Yeah. All right. You're going to go there. Let me see, where are they? Okay, they have... Just say that mine is cheaper and to let me, because they actually have guns. Mine is just a minimum arming.
Force laid in.
Yeah.
Awaiting
So,
orders,
that said, we are then going to enable our radars and stuffs. There we are. So the sweeper over here is going to move into this point. I intend to lay mines on this surface here once we capture the point. So we'll see what kind of stuff they got going around the place. I know that they have Pinard, or at least I'm expecting them to, so we're going to be playing around that assumption. This early warning will get us awareness on this side of the map, and then this early warning will get us awareness over here. So we're just going to keep these turned off for the first little bit and go from there. Yeah. That are heading a little bit more over this way. This kind of high commanding position should give us the angle we want on the various rocks, and we're going to see where the enemy ends up from there. Yeah. Preemptively start angling ourselves. This lovely red ruby formation is going to have mines embedded in it. That way, if they try and take this point, then the mines will activate and go wham right into them. So that's the plan, anyways.
Standing by.
We have got ourselves in formation here. Hopefully set right. Yep, something like. All right. I'll just have to remember that the, so number 7 is on the left, number 6 is on the right, and we'll go from there. So they get the first points here, which means they're slightly ahead, but we should be able to get everywhere we want to be. Just swing the early warning radars real quick here, and just take a look, see if there's anything to see. Yeah. Keeping the guns and stuffs available. All right. We don't see anything, so we're just going to do our, there's our other initial sweep. We're going to attack marker these things. There we are. So,
incoming enemy fire.
And then we're going to cease fire on you. All right, so minimum investments have been spotted. They are taking RPF shots from something or other. Let's see, where are those coming from? There we are. Okay, so we know that the enemy has sent a asset over there. There we go. We're just going to attack her, ping these various locations. That is our intent anyways. Just swing you over here so we can take a look at what that would be. Now, the important thing about us using our early warnings here is that we're able to get intelligence about what they are. So, as you can see, they have a sprinter on the point there, so we're going to swing the spotty over. Actually, in that case, then, they might be just completely seeding the A point. We're going to just go for the yellow cap here as best we can. Yeah. It's trying to get these things onto the point, like so. Yeah. Alright, so we can hear our stuff is getting clobbered. As you see here, Meanie, a very good cap player, has decided to contest with just these cheap little gun shuttles and stuff. So in turn, we will have our actual combat wings come over here and attack. This means that they have to be on point here for longer than I am, which means that I could potentially get this cap out. Let's see, where are you? Okay, so they're doing their thing over there. We need to try and curve our shot here. Alrighty, you. We have a Axford over there, which is going to be marked as priority. We are going to start mass driving in a second. Yeah.
Ready.
All right, let's see what else we got over here.
Internal executing. Component destroyed.
Okay, as for the sweeper, you have finished your job, so we'll handle that thing's mines in a second. As for you lot, ooh, that's a lot of RPF. Okay, owie.
Course laid in.
Luckily, I think most of those are detonating onto the, what do you call it? The rock there.
Awaiting your order.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of them are missing us, although now they're actually starting to hit. Owie, owie, owie. Okay, we need to really just get ourselves underway. No!
Send traffic.
The geometry for this is a little bit more difficult than I had initially thought. Ow.
Aye, aye.
This one has overshot, unfortunately, and I think is grinding up against the rock. You can see it's taking quite a bit of damage there, but we are managing to get the A point here in that case. We're going to fire the Balcon posts on spot here. There we
Course
are.
laid in.
And we should be weapons free in a second. Over here, we see there's a big old blob of rains on the right. So, we're going to play off that assumption and trust our allies to use that battle grouping effectively. And this thing should be able to get out of here.
Negative.
And we need you to fix the drives, please.
Talk to it.
So, in this case, we know there is a lot of high explosives from multiple angles. That is a bit of an oopsie on our part because we did not properly respect how much firepower they would have from the angles that they did. Again, a bit of an oopsie on my part because I forgot that that map's angling in the midpoint was different.
Aye, aye.
They've changed the central rock. You used to be able to hide behind it much better than you can.
Receiving.
Anyways, we're going to set our mines in a second. Luckily, though, this does simplify what I am doing, so we're just going to be firing on the Lycanthrope over here, a big old Axerid heavy cruiser trying to knock out some of its little assets. In this case, we're going to be swinging our stuff over this way as well. Yeah.
All hands, this is your
On it.
captain. Abandon ship.
All right, so this early warning is not tracking anything, so we're going to keep an eye out. We see there is I think it's a pair of light cruisers. Yeah, just going for the midpoint here, so we're going to instead engage onto those here, because we're expecting them to just charge forwards. Yep,
Yeah, we've
looks
got
like
it
they
now.
are. There we go.
Standing by.
We have a angle here, so we're going to take our shots as best as we can. Yeah.
Reposition.
All right.
Copy that,
There's
Commander.
3 frigates over there, but I'm confident that our Acello and its friends can handle that flank fairly well. I have to keep
Ready.
doing what I'm doing over here. See, our mine-laying tug is
Aye, aye.
kind of in... You know what? We're going to call that good enough and deploy the mines.
Confirmed.
There we are. Fire.
Scope
Boop,
is
boop, boop,
being
boop.
jammed.
So we're just laying a little clutch
Under
of
fire.
mines over there. Oop, here we have incoming on us. Oop.
Awaiting taking
Owie.
fire, Commander.
So in that case, that's the hybrid salvo in return there. Unfortunately, that does make us lose our Bloodhound, so they are countering me fairly good here. I could have tried to chaff and counter that. Unfortunately, the anti-missile missiles did not go off at the right times, and I'm now unfortunately in gun range here, so that's going to be bad. Yeah.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving
We're
now.
going to try and fire on these, though we are severely lacking in good locks. Even though it does show the cone still there, we do not have a effective attack vector on them, so we need to decide on a better target. Got some missiles flying off here. We have containers from somewhere. I don't know who brought the containers. That said, we are slightly ahead on caps right now. It is even caps, so that means that it will not be great for us coming up in a bit once the enemy decides that they are going to push over and get the A cap, but for the moment we are winning. That said, it is rapidly about to readjust. We're just going to try and chaff here. Keep our radar off. You can see them going for that. I'm betting that those are ARAD ACT. That's kind of the default missiles that you will see against us. So, better just
We're on
handle
our
things
way.
here. Yeah. Keeping our early warning pointed towards the middle. There's not really much we can do about that since I don't have fireable tracks, unfortunately. If I was smart, I would have put the spotty behind my balance complaint form here. That way it's able to use some of its point defense systems and take a hit better than the spotty is. Anyways, over here with the sweeper, we're going to just try and lay some more mines.
Launch confirmed.
So these should all ideally kind of embed onto this rock here.
We're low on missiles.
Thinking now, yep. So this way I'm able to get you and clear your fire orders. There we are. So, okay, those, yeah. Sometimes, I don't know why, but tugs behave very drunkenly when you give them, like, a heading and roll command. They just kind of, like, push up close to a rock, and then they go really silly with their heading and stuff. Like, this mine just flew off into the distance. These all embedded more or less where I wanted them to, but there's just a random one here that'll probably get cleaned up, so I have to deal with that. Yeah. Anyways, I need fireable tracks, and I'm just not quite getting them. You can see these are all over the place, so...
We're taking
Let's see.
fire.
I need to find something I can actually clean up over here. The enemy is rapidly putting us into a back cap situation, so not much we can exactly do about that. Up. In this case, early warning tug is starting to get hit, so we need to pull this thing back, figure out what is shooting at us, in fact. Yep, so as you can see, we got a little sprinter over here. That is shootable. It's going to take us a little while to turn that way, but we should be able to get it. We got a low power warning because I believe that our point defense turrets were trying to activate or something. No, we're missing a plant control center. That's why. All right, so Need to quickly adjust for that. Gonna have the spotty stay with our ship here in loose formation. This way, the spotty, although it's not really useful right now, it could be a cap asset later, or we could make other investments happen with it. Got little gun shuttles kind of going around the place, dodging containers here. What kind are these? ARAD, CMD, wait, interesting. That should be a good hit. Oh, wow, just barely missing, damn. Track quality just not quite there.
We can't shoot that
Gonna
far.
fire some grape shot as well into it. Unfortunately, again, the voxels, we just don't have a fireable track. I would really love to hit the voxels, but I just don't quite have what I need to get them.
Enemy is jamming us.
Let's see. As for the sweeper over here, oh crap! I just realized that it is in range of those voxels.
Opponent destroyed.
Wait, what?
Power
How is
falling.
that's not in range? What is that? What?
Opponent destroyed.
Oh, right, it's because the track error. That's why they look like they were further distance. Okay, we need to not die next to our sprint mine nest because that would mean that we are
Get us moving.
we are gonna basically have those activate on ourselves if we're not careful here. So we just need to play dead essentially. Yeah, not quite liking how this game is going, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna cease fire there since we don't need those. Right. I am just basically losing all of my assets poorly. It is my first game of the day, so I'm gonna play a little bit sloppy, and I'm just accepting of that. All right, that ship is evacuated. I'm also facing off against players who I know, and I know that they are stacking right now, so there's only so much I can do with the pubs that I am given, just given we don't have the coordination of their Discord call. I'm not trying to be salty or anything, but I do recognize the disadvantages that I place myself in.
Aye, aye.
Anyways, we're just gonna try and get you out of there, ideally, because I really don't want you to stay around here. That would be poor. Yeah.
Full burn.
All right, we're down to just one cap point now. If the enemy is smart, they will just end up cleaning up our military assets here, and we will not have anything we can really do about it. They have a reins over here that they're immobilizing. We can clean up some of their stuff and go for a push on the underside here, which we are kind of doing. That said, there's a lot of jamming and other annoyances going off here. You can see that they have plenty of Axfords about, little wings of sprinters and what do you call them, frigates and stuff going around.
Course laid in.
Yep.
Standing by.
I could try and position fire on those voxels, and I don't think I'm really doing anything else at the moment, so it's probably our best bet.
Receiving.
Yeah. Let's see. You have managed to actually keep yourself alive, which is very nice. It's what's keeping our awareness over the middle pretty good-ish here.
Acknowledged.
Something still does see us, although I don't see what it is. I'm assuming it's something up high. Yeah.
Aye, aye. Full burn.
Alright, I need to get you to try and keep yourselves moving, please and thank you. We'll see if we can't snake you down to a capture point somewhere.
Receiving.
We are taking fire from something I can't see. That's rather
Standing
annoying.
by.
Could you kindly, thank you,
Aye, aye.
if we would
We're getting,
fire on
low
that,
power
please.
running here.
Nope. Ah, crud. Lost plane control again. Yo!
Standing by.
I don't know what that is, and I don't like it. I think it has big bullets, so we're gonna just try and fire on it. We'll see if these hit. Nope. Unfortunately, track quality is not ideal, so
Receiving.
Orders.
gonna just be trying to move away from whatever that is. Given that it is, I believe, 8 kilometers away, I think that might actually be an Axford up top, just given the weapon groupings as well. Oop, this body is
Receiving.
getting a little bit in the way here, so we'll just duck it down like so.
Moving
Yeah.
into formation.
All right. Trying to get some eyes out here. Yep, it is in fact an Axford heavy cruiser. We're going to mark that as a priority threat, so I know what I am shooting at. As for you, that is another Axford, so I'm just probably going to end up dead here. I don't see my my lovely bulk freighter getting itself out of this one, unfortunately.
Component
We
destroyed.
are, yep, ouch.
We're reading.
We're
Yeah,
taking
we've
many
got to
hits.
turn the
Our
damage
energy
here.
regulator's going down.
Course laid in.
Okay, we have well, at the very least, we have a point. They can't send something over here without triggering a bunch of sprint mines, and the bottom of the map is kind of getting fought for right now. We have some Auroras going after some of their... Ooh, those are torpedoes. Yeah, okay, that's not ideal targets. A bunch of their little combat wings here. This little wolf pack of frigates is coming in now and doing some work.
Standing
So,
by.
yep.
Coordinates locked
Okay.
in.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Orders.
Oh, in this case, we lost the antenna. That's why we can't see anything. So that's very important. We have to try and get that back.
Affirmative.
We're going to be trying to flank into cover here. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to really shoot back until we get our tracks established. You can see some of our
We're
stuff
ready
going
when you
out
are,
there.
Commander.
To keep these on early warning radar as long as I possibly can, because I need the cross fixes. I think that I can actually sweep you over like so, and then I can try and keep you facing lower angles there. There we go. That should work. Once our antenna gets repaired, which is about 40% of the way done, I think, we should be able to get back into it. We also lost our reactor, so we have to really get going here.
We're moving.
Let's see. We are out of the line of fire, so we can turn off our flank engines
What
and
can
go
we
from
do
there.
for you,
Yeah.
Commander?
Okay, there's a whole bunch of chaff over there, as well as a sprinter that I think just bit the dust,
Channel's
so
open.
that is good for us. We should be able to move this thing onto one of the points eventually, once we've cleaned up all the enemy stuff, but they have quite a bit of things still going on under the map. Big old gunfight going down here, seeing armor-piercing rounds against sprinters. Not sprinters, frigates.
Component
And a bunch of missiles that I think are gonna go into the rock here? That's gotta be close.
destroyed.
Okay, one of them gets rocked. The other one is
We've
able
been
to
knocked out.
kind of fade. So in this case, we're starting to lose more and more stuffs. God damn it, I'm an idiot. I got too close to my own sprint mines and I knocked out my bulk freighter because its antenna wasn't repaired. Nuts. Hoisted by my own petard. Dang it. So, yeah, that is why you need to make sure your antenna stays up. I didn't realize the geometry of this rock and how my maneuvering was going to be here, so that does mean that I unfortunately knocked myself out with the sprint mines activated because my transponder does not work, identifying me as friendly. So, in this case, you need to not be here anymore because, well, basically that thing is going to go super critical and there's nothing I can do about that. I literally can't issue any orders, and if we take a look, where is it? Yeah, this reactor here is going to overload. So, we could have gotten back in the game with that. Oh, I say we could have gotten back in the game. I think that they have just a bit too much of a lead here with 1,000 points game for us to really claw our way back into it. That said, never say never and all of that. Just
Receiving.
kind of struggling to find an angle that we can approach from here. Yeah.
Aye, aye. Ready.
All right. We could try and go for the E point here. I don't think they have too much overwatching it, so we're going to see if we can't send our little sweeper here. I'm going to try and change my angle of attack on that. There we go.
Positioning.
This is one of the plays I'm going to try and make, although I don't really expect us to get back in with it. While we could draw this out, having a bit of fight and stuff, I don't see us being able to really get anything done with my fleet, so I'm going to just try and go for a cap or two where I can. It's kind of that stage of the game because they have a 5 cap and we are rapidly falling behind with that, so we really need to get onto points now. That said, this is probably just going to see the last of my assets go down, unfortunately. So, hit the flank thrusters, make it happen, Captain, while you can. We're going to see what we can do. Yeah, unfortunate, but I was not expecting to win this, as I said, so if I do end up getting a win and my team pulls through with it, I am giving them full credit. Very well done. I just don't expect to see that kind of thing happen because I'm thinking we're just a little too far behind right now. So, see where these containers go out. Interesting Seeker combo with the ARAD, CMD, and Wake Seeker. I've not seen this combo before. Usually you include a Validator in there. I'm not entirely sure why the Wake Seeker. I assume it's like if it misses, then you can go for it, but at the same time you've got CMD, so like you'd be firing on a track. I don't know. It's a strange Seeker combo. I have to think more about that one. I think that the yeah, so in this case, the ARAD isn't doing anything. The Wake Seeker might kick on here in a second. Oop, we'll have to see. Yep, okay, there it goes. So it's able to kind of predict where the enemy is. You can see this thing turning heavily here, trying to fire all of its defenders. It has a comms jammer too. That's rather annoying. Yeah, unfortunately, in Arc, no decoys launched, so this is just an attempt at a time on target strike. And we're just seeing all the defenders chew through these incoming missiles as they are not, unfortunately, terminal maneuvering or shedding decoys or doing anything there. So this one ends up just overshooting as well. Backside guns clean it up. Yeah.
Critical.
Yeah.
Abandoned ship.
All right. We lost our sweeper here due to RPF rounds coming from above. The lycanthrope got us there, so that's that. Spotty, you're going to just have to try and go for it. I really don't have anything else I can do right now. Ag!
Course laid in.
All right, we're gonna just try and make it to the points. Just gonna tell my team I think this might be a GG because I don't see us getting it back in time. Just a 5 cap is a little too far ahead on us, and even if we were to get like a 5 cap ourselves, I don't think we'd be able to make up the difference in time. So it's unfortunate to see, but well, we ended up oopsing ourselves, blowing up on our own mines, but I did not say that it was going to be a great game. I did expect to not do super great in this one because it is my first match of the day, and I do play kind of sloppy on the first one or two. So, oh well. Set flank ahead and just cross our fingers, hoping we can get to the points. I don't expect to, so yep.
Component destroyed.
Ready.
Let's see if we have anything else we can do. Early warning up there, maybe. Yep, well, we can keep the courageous on track at the very least, although I don't think our tugs are going to be able to do much here. Yeah.
Component destroyed.
I do feel kind of dumb because I did walk into my own minefield. I thought my antenna had been fixed in time and that I would be able to kind of maneuver this way, but unfortunately the mines, just with the position that I laid them, they had a perfect shot to swing over here. You can see it's about that 2.5 kilometer range where mines will activate. They just had to go wee. Although, funnily enough, the only sprint mine that I kind of oops my deployment of is the one over here that, in turn, well, didn't actually go after us, so bit of the funny.
We're ready, Commander.
Yes, just kind of like trying to hold the heading here, trying to tank a little bit more. Not much really going to happen because I believe, yeah, it's the cheek mounted 120s there, just going to clean us up. Wait, does this thing... Wow, it only has 1 and 2 defenders. That is very containerable if we got the hits on, but I don't believe that we got a container shot on this one. Just was off to the side the whole game, and we didn't end up getting a good track on that visually. If we had gotten a visual track, definitely would have fired containers on that or called for it. But all right, let's see if we can't get some of the points. We did actually end up doing our initial plan of rollout contesting stuff, just the enemy had a lot of coordinated assets to kill us off there, so I'm going to try and see if we can't get onto point here. I think we're just going to end up biting it. Still only a few points left, and then it is game over, so yep. Bit unfortunate, but hey, you only win about half of your games, give or take anyways, and I believe that we had a bit of a comp and skill difference there, just some people having a little bit more experience with the game, a little bit more knowledge of the map as well, because I did not know exactly which points were kind of being covered by what. My mass driver, I was never quite in position. They had a sprinter run over here that I just couldn't get a shot on. I'm used to the older version of the map, I think, where these rocks were very differently laid out, so I'd be able to have my mass driver from up where I deployed it here-ish on this rock. It could then shoot on that point, so yeah. I also very much oopsed my rocket shuttles on the midpoint. As you see, they are kind of non-existent anymore. If I had expected to like have to race over here and then properly position my cap, let's see, where is it? Yeah, there is a position here where you can kind of get in cover, but it's also favored on this side a little bit more because it's easier to get that cap point than it is to get over here. There is a spot that I could try and slam myself into. I just didn't quite recognize the map's geometry difference. Yeah, if we take a look here, like, you can kind of get under it at this angle here, although it's just a little bit easier on this side instead to do pretty much the exact same. So you just get a little more variety because the rock's asymmetrical positioning. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just you have to adapt for the map, and I have not played this very much, so we're down to just our early warning tug trying to get on the point. Unfortunately, there is a 450 broadsiding Axford that has been pretty nicely toasted here. And that burnt chicken nugget texturing going on there from the plasma cannons here. We're just going to be trying to get onto the cap here, see if we can't get at least 1 point just to spite them. We do. Haha.
Negative.
All right. We're taking hits from something. I'm not sure what. I believe that's one of the Vauxhalls, or maybe it's a Sprinter mid. I didn't get a chance to see what it was. Yeah, just firing little pop guns into us here. So we'll try and evade as best we can. I think we'll have to just burn ourselves forwards here because we are not going to be able to... Maybe we can pull back in time, actually. Let's try it. That's it. I don't think it'll make the difference. Win does go to them here, as unfortunately we are just outcapped. They had a bunch of combat assets that we did not properly handle, and we just... Well, I oopsed a lot of my fleet, so my team is kind of down on that regard. Yeah.
Get that component back up.
We see these containers. I've not seen these containers get a hit the entire game. Like, I saw them whiz by a sprinter up there, so I don't know the intention behind the Seeker Head combo. Maybe it's some tech that I don't understand, or maybe it's just, like, some experimenting stuff, but either way. See that pair of Vauxhalls there, nicely toasted from something other than they must have eaten a drive detonation. Interestingly, they're little... Like, I'm pretty sure this is all the same fleet. Yeah, this is the 501 fleet. I'm kind of curious how these two Vauxhalls got so cooked, but the frigate somehow managed to stay perfectly unstripped. That's interesting. All right. Anyways, we kind of didn't expect to win that one, so we'll just move on to the next one and go from there. And yeah. All right, let's just scroll down, take a look. So yeah, our mass driver, we basically never had a shot on that map. We just didn't understand the map geometry. So where I deployed, I kind of oopsed that and then ate a whole bunch of my own mines and then got pushed by Axfords. So that was my mistake there. Really didn't do much with the rest of my fleet. The most damage I did against like a ship was against myself with my own sprint mines, so I feel kind of dumb on that. We're just going to hop out and get ourselves into another game, and that, yeah. All right, let us take a look. Let's hop into area official number 5. I like that one. Just kind of load up the mods and whatnot for the Maw. Probably don't want to play this map. I don't believe that Maw is one of the maps with the vertical line indicator, which is something I very much like, so... Alright, we are going to run a little ad intermission because that game did take a bit of time, and I need to go get myself some more water. So we will be back in 3 minutes, chat. Don't go anywhere. I will see you in 3. Yeah. Alrighty, y'all. We are back. Popped into area official number 5, like we said. Currently kind of just like deciding on what fleet I want to play. I think I'll play Anna's side. And play another map. I'm gonna say good idea to that, yeah. So, we're just gonna see what we end up getting. Broken Bloodline large. I do like that Space Skull map. Ruby Shelf, nice to see that there's been some changes to the map in that. I'm definitely going to have to experiment with it and toy around a little bit, seeing just what kind of new improvements they made and other stuff. So we'll see where we go from there. Going to load up the Broken Bloodline, talk about this. So it's a big old rodent skull looking thing in space. I do quite enjoy this map. Just kind of the aesthetic of it is very interesting. And I believe it's 6 caps it has is... oh, we just chose Bloodline. Huh. I believe it's a 6-cap map as well, which makes it play a little differently than, say, 5-cap maps like Salar or Nix's Eye or whatnot. Always broken. How so? Kind of curious about that now. I think that we might just go with some sort of like simpler stuff. I could do some CLs. We have the Fast Attack Split here that we could do with a couple of silly friend names that I've got included in there. But get some more peoples in here now, but... seem to always have, Stuck on invisible walls. I think that is a issue that the area official servers have with some of the maps. Yeah. I know that Arroya had that problem. I just kind of mentioned that in the chat. Anyways, we're just loading up here and seeing what we get. So hopefully it's not a map issue and all that, and we'll be able to go and get ourselves a good game going. So they'll probably just verify their files and be back. If the lobby is up, then we can go with that. Yeah. Either way, we got 5 in the Nebulous now, so we're going to just wait for the final person. Or I say 5. We got 5 on the OSP side, and we got 4 on the ANS side, so we're just going to wait for the final person. I think I'm going to play my light cruisers this time. Going for my... originally I had the idea of them being like a split fast attack formation, but I'm kind of coming around and thinking maybe I should just run them together and then split them off later if I want to. It's nice having the CL paired up with the FFL, so... Those of you who don't know, that's the light cruiser, the Vauxhall, and the Corvette, the Sprinter. So you can pair them together very well because the Sprinter Corvette can act as your EWAR sort of like support module stuff. And then you put all of your heavy firepower and guns onto your, let me just open up here to show up. As you can see here, we've got a lovely, the Doc Vivi here. Kind of a inside joke there with me and her, but we got 5 250 gun mounts on these things, the Mark 64s. Very good cannons when they're able to shoot, but they are also a little bit fragile, so you have to be a little careful with that. Bunch of defenders on this as well, and you'll see it has currently laid out in front of it a escort corvette. So the idea of the escort corvettes in this particular deployment is that the ships will burn in reverse style, and then as they flip around 180 degrees to enter into the battle space proper, then the ship will already be pre-deployed behind it. So I don't have to worry about it getting like knocked out, because missiles will come in and get shot by these defenders instead of going after my electronic warfare stuff. I should have done that last game where I put my mass driver liner in front and then my little spotter telescope tug behind it, but unfortunately I did an oops, and as well is tradition, I got punished for doing an oops, so hey, that's fair. It's important to learn from your mistakes, and oh boy do I make a lot. I'm not too torn up about losing games here and there. It's just when I end up basically doing nothing, I feel like I'm dragging my team down, so that doesn't feel great. Let's showcase what we got. Actually, surprisingly, we have well, these are very expensive. These are each like 1,500 points. Dang. Okay. Well, we could swap over to running a pair of... Interesting. That's kind of weird. Like, when somebody joins, sometimes you get, like, the tooltips thing stuck to your cursor. I don't know why it does that. But we could swap over to something a little bit heavier. See, Voodoo over here has got some beam destroyers. Very nice. Mark 61s on everything. Wow, just going for all of that 100 mil DACA. Cool. Either way, lobby is up, so we're gonna go ahead and get our stuff. They've got an Uwu tag, and I think that's an Astolfo logo. That's funny. All right. Just get a little show fleets request here and whatnot, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get this underway, even though I know everyone loves Nebulobby Fleet Command and that. We do want to keep the games rolling today, so. Probably we'll end up having... I'm thinking like a battleship and a pair of Axfords on our team would be really good in terms of just like keeping a frontline tonnage anchor point, something like big and heavy that we can kind of revolve around. So battleship is quite good for that. The Axfords as well, I think, are quite good. I particularly like the Axfords because the bonus repair rate they have, and also the slightly... it's sort of like a psychological difference. Like if people see battleship, then they immediately will end up focusing that with like all of their heavy firepower. But if they see Axford repair, for some reason, they don't treat it the same way. I can't quite explain it, but just the phenomena of like, ooh, big battleship, wah! And then they all just kind of decided that thing is what they're going to shoot at. But for some reason, Axford heavy cruisers, even when there's 2 of them together, they don't earn the same kind of response. It's really strange, and I can't quite explain it, but yeah. Pretty happy with the kind of fast attack fleet we're planning here, so we'll see if we can either do independent deploys or we can do together deploys. It depends what we feel like doing. If we deploy together, then we can overlap our jamming and be very effective like that. Alternatively, we could deploy them independently and then try and attack from 2 angles, so we have the options there. Yeah. We're at a little bit of a disadvantage when we're within about like 7.2 kilometers, because that's where enemy plasma and 100mm guns start taking their effect on us. That said, the Vauxhall is also very evasive, so we should be able to dodge, hopefully at the 8-kilometer mark, and just try and keep out of the enemy's gun ranges effectively. Yeah. It's a really kind of toe the line and dance around there, so it'll be interesting to see how well we can manage that. There's also the factor that if a bulk fighter decides it kind of wants you right now, well, combination of the long haul drive and sometimes the 777 yard drive, that thing is very, very good for maneuverability. So if they can end up just kind of blitzing towards you and deciding to run you down, although that does make them very exposed since they're typically leaving cover for that. You can also jam them, which works sometimes. Depends entirely on the offset locks, the communications on the enemy team, and just a whole bunch of other different things there. But we should be able to try and toe the line, keeping the enemy just far enough out of reach that we're able to shoot them, but they can't hit us. At least that's the intention. It's most likely going to end with me getting torn apart by plasma 100mm, but hey, that's something new. Alright, we are just going to ready ourselves up. I'm pretty happy with the comp we have. We've got enough stuffs just kind of kicking around. Like, we can see this is just kind of a 100mm themed fleet. A bunch of 100mm on the Keystones here, 100mm on the Vauxhall. Probably just going to use that to pretty much try and wipe out anything small in the battle space. I do prefer 250s on the Vauxhall, but I understand that the 100mm, I think it has comparable DPS. It just doesn't quite have the same damage per shot, so it can struggle to break certain components. Yeah. And the good news is, because we're playing ANS, I can't accidentally mine myself. Alright, we're just waiting for Fight Frog and... We're going to just say man. Maybe man squared? I mean, there's 2 man there, so... Gonna ask if they're there. Oh, we just saw Fight Frog change their thing there, so they should be here. Just probably selecting fleet, deciding what they want to finalize their comp with, and we'll go from that. Okay, am I going crazy check? Because I swore I heard a Discord notification. I checked Discord, and there's no notification. Am I taking crazy pills? Either way, we're gonna hop in on Broken Bloodline now and see if we can't get ourselves a good match in. Got a little bit stomped last game, but we're going to say that was our warm-up and it doesn't count and go from there. Yeah. Alright, so here we are on Broken Bloodlines. As you can see, it is a giant rodent skull in space. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So I think our plan should be to try and isolate enemy fleets over towards the B point, since we have a nice arc of fire there. They could come flying around that corner, but our RPF rounds should be able to take them out. We're just going to deploy all of our forces kind of like in one battle group here. I'm going to position this as best I can. That should work. There we go. Yeah, we'll deploy our forces like so, group up into one big ball, and then kind of go towards the B point, see if we can't get some nice gunfire there. See, we've got a couple of, that surprise beam? Yeah, surprise beam and the golden. They're going to be coming with us over towards the B point, and we'll go from there. All right. My nose is itching. Hang on a second, chat. My tracking's probably going to freak out. Yeah. There we are. All right. I'm pretty sure that the loading the map is not something that you exactly dictate. It's kind of dictated by server. You just click on the thing that says load map. Yeah. Load. Freudian slip there. Slip the keyboard in that, but either way. All right. So C point is going to be contested because what's common is for... Oops. Never mind. Because what's common is for a sort of shuttle and corvette to run and smack into either side of this rock and then sit there until something can go and take it out. Kind of an interesting position. If you're fast, you can get a missile strike into the area and then take them out before they hit the point. So there's one way around it. Alternatively, you could bank your shots around the outside and then try and smack them while they have themselves just pushed up against that rock. Wait. Broken bloodlines, a remote location away from the front lines, a boneyard of disputed authenticity. As you see a bunch of the enemy deploying in there, so we're going to go ahead and select our CLs like so, and just put them all into formation like this. What the? That's weird. Why can't I issue orders? Huh. That's odd.
Standing by.
I'm confusion.
Stopping the ship.
Okay, what the heck? Like, I'm clicking the buttons here, chat. I can't left click. That's weird. Left click, okay, the mouse function does work. That's very strange. Is it headings? What the heck? Huh. That's odd.
We hear you, Command. Standing by.
Why can't I... Like, I am left-clicking right now, chat.
We hear you, Command.
What the heck? Like, I legitimately can't issue orders on anything.
What are our orders, Commander?
That's rather annoying. Can I... No? Yes? What? The heck? Okay, that's super strange. Like, I legitimately, can't do anything. Like, I'm actually stuck here. Huh.
Ready.
I thought I'd maybe, like, grab something at the deploy screen, but, like,
Standing by.
okay, okay, chat, so we're gonna go on a little break here because I don't know why this has happened. I
Awaiting orders, Commander.
can't actually... Wait. We're good. All right. I don't know what changed. I tabbed out, I tabbed back in. It works. Okay. You know what? We take those.
Underway.
We take those, chat. We take those. Okay. No idea why that happened. That is super weird.
Waiting for your orders,
Okay.
Commander.
Anyways, like I was saying before I got confused, we're just gonna have everything group up here and then loose formation. There we go. That looks that's formationable.
Standing by.
Yep. Something like that up there.
Lead on.
All right, so that's roughly a shape that we want to have. Okay, that's going to mess with our timings a little bit. We're going to try and go and keep up with our battleship over here. Luckily, we are fast, so we should be able to. I have never had that happen before. I'm so confused why that happened. Okay, anyways, you see missiles and stuff coming over here. This thing's trying to turn and evade from whatever is down here with the jammer, since it can't fire and return, I don't believe. Yep, that's a lot of stuff. There's 3 shuttles down here.
Ready.
Put an attack marker on that area. Here we are. So they're firing rockets and whatnot. Okay, we could potentially go down there and try and attack these. It's very dark, so it's a little hard to see these. They have rockets and pinpoint launch. Let's see, this thing has gun, jammer, and chaff. And then this one has, I believe it's rocket and pinpoint. Yep, okay, so we could rotate down and engage that, but it looks like we already have some assets on that side that are able to engage that angle, so we're just going to hold off for now. Trying to stay with our battleship here, providing the escort it needs, since its escort is falling behind a little bit. This is rebounds. Interesting. You don't typically see rebounds. Usually it's Stonewall flak turrets. Also not super popular right now with flak. Most people have figured out the Defender is capable of shooting down rockets as they currently come at, so a lot of the time you'll just see it covered in Defenders, since they're very good against torpedoes as well. Okay, so flak, kind of an interesting one. It's still effective against, like, some limited volleys of rockets and stuff, and you can shoot down a couple size 2 missiles, but not the kind of, like, end-all, be-all of stuff as it used to be, so.
Standing by.
Moving the Vivi along here, trying to get to the B point, so we do have a big investment going down this way, expecting there to be enemy assets in return, so we'll see what we can clean up over this direction. Let's take a look. What kind of battleship is this? I don't like the lighting on this map. It's very dark on the underside, so it makes it hard to see some things. I believe this is 450s with a 250 backpack. Like, yeah, this is just, it's so incredibly dark and hard to see here. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's a very pretty map with the whole lighting thing, but I think just, like, ambient lighting needs a little bit of a boost because it is important when you get visual on a ship to be able to tell what it has, and I don't know about y'all, but I can't see shit. So,
Standing by.
gonna be burning ourselves as best we can over this way. Once we cap this point, we should be able to move on and upwards. Expecting the enemy to kind of deploy to that side, as we saw earlier. You can see we're getting a bit of a cap advantage here, taking the B point. Although they do firmly have the D point in their control and will most likely get the E point. That said, we do still have a points advantage, so yeah. Space.
Standing by.
It's,
All stop.
no, shift space is stop. What's
Moving.
control space? That's it. There we are.
Ready.
I don't know whether they're talking like changing modes, if it meant like they're trying to flip the map over or what. So you have to hit control shift space and that makes the map go wee like so. A little bit disorienting in that, but either way. Like I think that like on the light side of the rocks is great because you can still see what the ship. That thing has an antenna in the wing. That's kind of funny. You can still see like what ships are and where they're kind of be in that. But in this case, we're going to I think just push on here. We're like a 6,000 point battle group right now, so we're pretty tough. Let's see. Okay, that is going B. Yes. All right. So here's our plan. Because we had a rough idea of where those are. I'm going to signal. Yep, there we are. So we're going to signal attacker move there. There we are. We're going to point our heading down and then engage those. Our plan is that we should be able to RPF round them from a distance, and that will be good. Going to select our ships and just kind of reposition our formation like so. There we are. And then we will be able to curve underneath this corner here, and then ideally we'll have our attack vector locked in over there. Yeah. Let me click on that, please. Thank you.
Executing your orders.
We'll to execute our jamming here in a second once we come around this corner. So there we are. We'll just preemptively jam. See, the enemy is kind of over there, so we're going to have to deal with that. We'll turn off flank thrusters because we don't really need them right now. There we are.
We're locked on to target.
Awaiting orders,
Going to fire HE RPF rounds now that we have an angle and lock. Tone is good. Lock is good.
Locked on target.
Going to lock everything here that we can and just kind of drift our way back since we know what the enemy is. Just going to fire all of the RPF rounds here and just shred these things. I believe they're coming straight at us, so HE is now viable. They'll probably fire in return here in a second. Let's see. Yep. There we are. Pew, 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 pew. Just going to shred that one with a little bit of high explosive and switch targets then. You are going to lock onto that one. There we are. Now we have everything locked up, so it should be an easy cleanup. This wing of shuttles will go down here shortly. We did not lose anything either, so we should be fine. Battleship will take that one out, no problem. Fire high explosives on this guy. I believe that one of them is dead. I'm going to bet it's this one that looks powered down. Going to split our fire ever so slightly here. There we are. Pew, 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 pew. These high explosive shots should be killers. There we are. Come on, just hit them.
Send to traffic.
Signal that one as dead, and then focus all our fire on the remaining one. All right, there we are. We're going to hold fire order and then just get out of the line of fire. There we are. All right, and that is that cleaned up. So that was our role, trying to play as the escorts here. We're going to cease firing our jammers and whatnot. There we are. I'm just going to change the ordering around of my ships, having 1 and 2 as my sort of like light cruisers, and then we'll go from there. Have our fleet reorganized ever so slightly. Oh, I forgot I had AMMs in this. That's very nice. We have some size 2s coming at the battleship here. Battleship should be fine. Enemy fleet is pushing off in this regard. I think that's just a pair of tugs, given their positioning. I'm going to just marker them with an attack marker for reference later. Anyways, just going to cease fire on everything. We have to manually clear all of our lock orders and whatnot, but that should be fine. There we go. So, at the very least, we have cleared up a bunch of rocket shuttles, which I think is putting us 600 points up, so we're going to see what we can go after here. See, there's a bulk freighter and some cargo feeders. We're going to mark this bulk freighter as priority, and hopefully our team will go after it. We are currently up on the caps, so let's try and keep that up. Be moving ourselves around like so. Looks like they're being heavily jammed here, so we're going to have to provide ourselves some support to them. Not sure what is doing the jamming exactly, but we're going to find out. All right, team. We need to catch up to our battleships since they are getting ahead of us, so let's do just that. We're going to move ourselves over ever so slightly like this, and then go. See, now a bunch of return fire coming out here. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. The bulk freighters are in range to plasma our battleship. We're going to try and clean up some of their stuff in a second here. Yeah.
We've got a lot of static
Need
here.
to
Heading
move
now, Commander.
super fast, super quick.
Standing by.
Ideally, we'll be able to jam this in a moment. Gonna align our jammers there once we get the chance. Yeah. See, so, we're gonna fire our jammers on this thing, hoping that that is what is providing them the initial lock.
Ready.
You are free to fire, thank you. So that will just mess with them for a moment. That did not, unfortunately, clear the
Standing
fire
by.
order, so we're just gonna have to jam this one, and then just get over here.
Now, Commander.
Gonna battle tank them because they seem like they are the bigger threat. Gonna set you as the priority one. Actually, yeah, you're gonna be priority, and we're just gonna fire all of our high explosive rounds into you that we
Firing
can.
on that target.
Gonna get ourselves some distance as well to try and better mitigate incoming fire. Gonna disable priority on this one because this is the guy we're shooting at.
Standing by.
Let's lock.
Have to manually order our locks from all of our fleet, and we want to just put distance between us and them. So we're gonna quickly drift our way over here, firing all of the guns that we got. Pew 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 pew. So while these bulk freighters do have a lot of firepower, they are going to be limited to what they can do because we're going to be trimming them down. Also, the beam is going to be good. Thank you, Voodoo Fan. Beautiful beam shot. Yeah, let's get them. Pew pew.
Traffic.
I did not even see that one coming, but I am super happy. All right, we're going to turn Battle Short on because we want to make sure that this battle group is, in fact, jammed and isolated. The combination of the comms jammers and the radar jamming should be making something happen against them. Let's make sure that our electronic warfare assets are in arc. Yep, they are. It is good. We are a little bit worried about what's coming over here to the right. So in this case, I'm going to fire a jammer in this direction. Right jammer, please. Thank you. That should mess with these guys in a moment. I'm going to fire on this thing, actually. It seems to be a more reliable track. There we are. So yeah, now we have messed with the enemy thoroughly. Ooh, yeah, cargo feeder is suffering.
Awaiting orders.
We're running out of missiles,
All right,
Commander.
anyways.
Force laid in.
We're doing good here, so we're going to provide secondary lock onto other targets here as well. There we go. Should actually probably lock the cargo feeder for them. Yeah, we're trying to use our locks here, provided that we can get some stuff. Gonna turn off that. There we are. Yeah, their jamming is good. We can't really hide a battleship, but we are going to make them suffer trying to hit it. So
Send your traffic.
actually going to see. So unfortunately, our jamming in this case is not isolating them as much as I wanted. So we're going to turn off battle short here because we're going to be cooking our jammers otherwise. You can already see them taking a little bit of damage here. Yeah, less than ideal. That said, we are going to fire on target for effect now. We are in range. Move laterally a little bit like actually so. Want to keep ourselves distant from them. Yeah. Our goal to try and bring down the enemy's firepower. So we're just firing all the high explosives we got. Pew pew pew. See, we've got ourselves a bunch of locks. The battleship is doing battleship things. It's moving forward, taking a whole bunch of hits. Left side of it has gotten pretty torched, so this thing is a little bit vulnerable, but it's taking hits that we don't have to, doing battleship job. So very good at them. Yeah.
Moving.
Making sure our light cruisers are in position, more or less. Going to try and keep our electronic warfare assets in their relative positions as well. That looks about right. I think, give or take. Yeah, it's probably fine. Move the unattended child a little bit higher up. There we are. Yeah, just going to keep firing on what is closest. We need to be a little bit closer now.
There now,
There
Commander.
we are. You can see we're just towing the line on that range, trying to really make use of our 8-kilometer goodness. Going to change our headings a little bit, facing over more this direction in case we need to just do. Ooh, that is less than stellar. Hi, buddy. Electronic warfare, jamming everything, please. Yo!
Get it done.
Okay, I did not realize that there was proper bulk freighters over here, so we are going to fire on
You're
those.
gonna learn today.
All right, we're going to keep our locks provided against those things over there. Yep. As for you,
Spiker.
uh-oh. Yep. Okay, that is not good. This means that the battleship is unfortunately down. So that means we need to not be here anymore because now there's 2 fleets that are going to be looking at us. All right, we're going to focus this bulk freighter here as priority. I believe you should be toast, I think. Yeah, it looks like you've popped your life pods. So number 3, you're going to lock onto this. Yep. Very good with the beam destroyer there, warding them off. Now we're just going to basically survive. Our battleship got aggressive and unfortunately got sandwiched between 2 fleets there, so we're just going to be trying to clean up essentially over here. Less than ideal situation, just given our current jamming abilities. But with that said, we are keeping them from seeing us, which is exactly what we wanted. There we are. Going to turn battle short off in this regard because I'm pretty sure that I will cook myself otherwise. Yep, there we are. So they can see us now, which means they can shoot us, but we are already moving to disengage from their effective gun range, so we want to just play the distance game. They have mass drivers somewhere up in that direction, which is less than ideal. Oof. They know that militarily they are up in this regard, but they are pulling back since they got heavily beamed over there. Probably going to rally up and try and push for a different point. We just need to basically stay alive on this flank. You see the fuel line fires and probably reactor bloom going to go up. Nope, just a fuel line fire again. So means that there's a lot of firepower coming out this way. We are going to answer with jamming of our own, like so. Firing on position.
Aye, aye.
There we are.
Laser is active.
Short.
Standing by.
I believe we actually have range on you, give or take.
That's outside effective range.
A little bit,
Standing by,
yep.
Under attack.
So,
Moving
either way,
without
we are
ceasing.
able to fire for effect on targets here. They have a bunch of shuttles going up here, so we're going to send these to RPF
They're
them.
gonna learn today.
Number 3 and 4 are going to lock on there. So it's our job to now try and stay at range, but also clean up the enemy's little assets. Given that these are going to be in range, it's our best shot. Yeah.
Send traffic.
Let's see. So, you and you can lock on there, and I want to make sure that my jammers
Aye,
stay
aye.
focused on
Firing the
you.
buzzer.
You should not be able to see me, so yeah, they're just kind of spitting into the wind there. Very nice.
Ready.
Pew pew. All right. Next, we're going to focus on you. Number 4, you're going to lock. Thank you. This thing should be pretty toasted. At the very least, we've RPF'd it down. We're going to try and catch the other one, but there's 3 sprinters going that way. Luckily, Voodoo Fan over here with the beam destroyer should rotate and hit the other one.
Standing by.
We're just going to try and play cleanup game,
Moving.
keeping ourselves at arm's length here.
Standing by.
So we're going to have you ceasefire and you
Standing by.
ceasefire because you are still, again, cooking yourselves. Turn off battle short. There we are. Pew, 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 pew. Just going to have you fire HE since this thing is slowing down. Trying to clean up what we can. You are going to do the same on that target, ideally. Thank you.
Enemy is being locked.
That is a bit of a name for a shuttle. Okay. I don't know if there's like naming violations in the game, but like that's a little rude and on the nose. Anyways, they're going to be trying to come towards us. I can already tell because they are bulk raiders and they want my butt. So, yeah.
Receiving.
You lot would be so kind as to Jamulus them
Aye, aye.
again.
Buzzer
We're
is
just going to
active.
comms jam them.
Enemy engaged.
They don't actually have a track on us, which is the funny part. So I think they might be position firing.
We're ready whenever you are.
Oh, nope, they do have a track. Okay, that's rather annoying. Right, this thing's going to get missiled in a second here. Womp womp. Yeah, okay, so that one is in fact dead. We're going to rotate our fire back onto these ships here then and go from there. Yeah.
We'll get it done.
All right. Gonna actually hold here since we have this one in range, so we'll be able to fire on that. There we go.
Heading there now, Commander.
Gonna readjust our game plan, just firing all the locks we can. Lovely view of our aft section. Long time no see. Oh, hey, Master Iron. Nice to see you. We are playing some Nebulous Fleet Command in that, trying to engage a couple of bulk freighters right now that want to come out and play against our fleet. So we're just gonna give them a good old what for. Fire all the jammers.
Aye, jamming.
Boom. There we are.
Ready.
So we are getting jammed ourselves here, which is a little annoying. Why didn't you back us up last night? I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly. So, I was kind of like off stream last night, if that's what you're meaning. Like I had real life things to do. So
Course laid in.
Yeah.
We're ready whenever you are.
in Meg's stream, I have no idea what you're talking about in Meg's stream. Really, I popped in and said hi to her and all that, but I'm not sure which ones you're talking about there. So sorry. I know many things, but I do not know all. If you would kindly fire your jammers again.
Aye, aye.
See, the
Fire
hang-up
the
should
buzzer.
almost be done here. So this thing is getting pretty toasted. Like high explosive rounds. They're good against bulk freighters, but it does take a while to actually bring them down full proper. Bulk freighters have very good damage control. That said, I don't want to play too close to them. I'm doing my job here of just kind of keeping off to the side.
Get it done.
Kind of hitting things that are small. What is that? That looks like a little threat. We're going to lock onto that thing and fire on it. I'm betting that's a tug or something else small, so we're going to just quickly switch over to HERPF rounds in hopes that we can break it. There we go. Pew, 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 pew.
Ready.
Gonna try and shred it with small fire. I don't know what it is, which is the little annoying thing. Unfortunately, all my blanket jammers go off at the same time, so they will be able to see me here and try and fire. That said, we are pushing them pretty far back. Those mass drivers up there are being a rather big nuisance because I keep seeing them firing off their little blue thunderbolts against the other side over here. We are winning our flank, which is good, but we are going to probably have to rotate over. We have kept control of the B point here nicely, even though our battleship decided to push a little too aggressively. It saw the enemy fleet was right here, and they thought, yeah, I can take them. The second fleet came from the flank and messed them up something fierce.
We'll get
All right.
it done.
You are a little clipper. There you are. Fire. Yes, that. All right, I can jam too. Enable battle short. Mine is bigger. Ha ha!
Standing
We're
by.
just gonna pepper this thing with all we got for high explosive rounds. First shot does miss because we were realigning our guns. Should be fine though. Let's move ourselves laterally like this. We should be able to clip this thing down, I think. Pretty sure this was their jamming platform. Ooh, a couple shots there going wide due to gun plotting error. Pew 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 pew. There we are. All right, gonna turn off battle short once again. You're gonna cease fire, and you're gonna cease fire. There we go. All right, so we've dealt with that for the moment. We're gonna cease fire and just reassess the battle space. See, there's quite a bit of stuff happening here. Okay, so they have got a tug on that point. How far away is that? That's close enough that we can do something. So we're gonna move ourselves a little bit forwards. Again, I'm expecting the enemy to be on the E point in a second, so I have to play around that assumption that they're gonna try and get me in close range. If I do get close range with the bulk freighters, I am not at a favorable engagement there because they are very good within that 6.5 kilometer bracket, particularly because of the pinpoint fire control radar. So, let's see. Just to recap, you're talking about Meg fighting a fake bear. Ring any bells? I know there's the one picture of her supposedly dropping a bear. I will neither confirm or deny the accuracy of that image. By which I mean didn't happen. Lol, fake. L plus bozo. Nah, I'm just kidding. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
Could she fight a bear? I have no idea. Maybe. She'd probably just like fall over crying, and then that would be the thing, and then the bear would feel bad.
Ready.
Right, there is a thingy over here we're gonna put as an attack marker. We should reach this in a second, so we're gonna just hit the thrusters here.
Ready.
Come on, burn through. We should see that with our maximum parallax range of 9.5 kilometers, I believe.
Acknowledged.
See, Voodoo. Voodoo is still somehow holding the E point. Where did those bulk freighters go? Did they just tuck themselves up in here? I'm going to marker this as warning because I assume the enemy fleet is over there. All right.
Ready.
See, so that is a target that we can engage on. We are going to engage our jamming on that. That way it will just be heavily impaired, ideally. Yep, there's a battle group there. Looks like these are... Can't tell what these are, rather annoyingly. I want to say 100 mil, just given the angling, but... Alright.
Standing by.
Tell you what, we are going to strive forth heroically and try and resecure the points here. So, providing fire control lock and guns are good to go. We just have to get a half kilometer closer or so, and we should be into it. Which will just be like right about here-ish, actually. So we're going to slow down our ships. We want to, again, assume that the enemy is, yep, right up here. There we are. So we're going to adjust our jamming to reflect that. Get jammed. Haha.
Standing by.
Next, we're going to change our target onto that. So, yep. There we go. We're going to go up high here, trying to flank around. Rather annoying that.
Send traffic.
You would be so kind as to lock that. Not sure if the angle is just bad or what. Looks like the angle is ever so slightly off. Ooh. Okay, that cargo feeder is evacuated. That is not... Ooh, hey, that's 1,000 points. Wow, I didn't realize we were that far ahead. Awesome. That'll be GG then. Yeah. We managed to do our job engaging on that angle, providing a bit of support. We swept up some shuttles, then we managed to do a little bit of skirmishing at range there, trying to keep them afar. But that said, yeah, Battleship did its job of tanking a whole bunch of hits, although it did unfortunately fall to the combined firepower. So that's what you typically see battleships die to, just two fleets. One of them holds the front side of it, where it's very tanky, and the other one is able to get around the side and then kind of bring it down that way. Didn't see what happened to these. I think these got mass drivered or missiled. You can see here, a lot of our fleet ended up just getting, like, kind of knocked out there because they had a lot of firepower on that far side. We were still combat capable, able to pull a respective 25,000 damage here, so went pretty good with that. Looks like a bunch of our beam destroyers and stuff got some numbers in. I saw one of them fire off. Yeah, we managed to get the cap points and stay holding on to it. A bunch of their shuttles and other things just kind of went down. Which ones were we fighting? Custodians. I want to see which one I was shooting at for most of the game. These all have, I think, just emoji names. Okay. What was it? I think it was these two. Yeah, so these two, we never let them get great shots on us. Or was it this one? I think it was this tag we were shooting, right, chat? Feel pretty sure. Yeah, these were perfectly healthy mass drivers. So, okay. I think we were fighting against some 450 bulkers then that we just managed to keep. In that case, actually, if that was 450 bulkers, we should have been trying to get closer because we can play a little more aggressively against that, trying to just nimbly dodge past their shots and then keep ourselves at 8 kilometers dealing damage. Actually, we can get a little closer than that because really the threat we were afraid of was plasma 100 mil, and we just didn't end up facing that. But I feel pretty good about that one, anyways. Yeah. Let's see, what time is it? 6:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Ooh, there's Operation Burning Lance up. I still need to get back into that mod. I tried it once, maybe twice? Once or twice, and like it had some very interesting stuff. Just the expanded arsenal of the Burning Lance mod seems very cool. So I think we will see. Area Official has a player in it. We're gonna refresh the list here, see if there's anything up. I can go for Area Officials. Unfortunately, it is just kind of an empty server, so we're actually going to hop back into one of the areas with the modded maps because I like them a lot. Number 5 is my personal favorite, just because it's US Eastern, kind of like my time zone area, so I get the best connection in that. Not to say that it makes too much of a difference. Neb is one of those games where ping doesn't make a huge difference because most of the time your orders are kind of already issued. There's like a few things that might change, like how fast you can turn off your radars and stuff, but I don't think that that will be the end of the world. Because we played ANS last time, we're going to hop onto the OSP side here and just kind of wait for people to shows up and all that. And yeah, not sure which OSP fleet I want to play. I have been having a lot of fun with like the Plasma T30s. That said, could always bring out one of the classic, the Super Plasma T30 fleet. This features the lovely grid final, which is my purple burp design. Let's hold on to that here. Some people had asked before about the purple burp design. To explain it, it does have a plant control center in it, which you don't technically need if you drop some of the guns. So if we were to remove the plant control center here, you see how we're overpowered. We can just remove 1 and 2 of the guns, and in their place we could instead run, just sneeze. At you. Alright, instead we could run a pair of T30 guns. So if you wanted to make this thing a little bit more multi-role and just have like a heavy investment in the like front-loaded plasma stripping and then a little bit of follow-up damage, you could do this. The reason why I elected to go with the plant control center and 8 plasma cannons is because I'm specifically taking this design so that it is able to strip off armor as fast as possible in as short a burst as possible. The idea being you come around a corner, you dump 64 plasma rounds, and then anything that had armor just suddenly doesn't. So that's the intention behind this design. That said, probably like just in terms of cost effectiveness optimization, the T30s are fairly cheap. You can fly swat with them pretty effectively. Plasma cannons comparatively are 45 points. This saves you taking a plant control center, which is another, where is it? Power engineering. Here it is. Yeah, this is another 25 points there. So you're saving quite a bit of money if you decide to go with that approach. I would say that for generalist role, this one would be a little bit better in that because you now actually have some offensive firepower besides just plasma strip. That said, this thing, as it was in its initial iteration, is designed to enable these multi-threat bulkers. So it is just designed specifically to peel a battleship. I guess you could argue that like whether you're firing 64 or let's say 48 plasma rounds, you're probably going to get the same effective strippage. I just wanted to really go all in on the plasma strip angle of it. So that said, we are hopping in Broken Bloodlines Large again. We might change that map around, or we might play a different part of it. We only got to see like a quarter of the Broken Bloodlines there, where I was just kind of gaming against 2 fleets of bulk freighters while my battleship was tanking for us. I don't know exactly what happened on the other side. I only saw flashes of mass driver fire and a whole lot of ships go down. So that's it. I'll just be hopping into area official number 5. If anyone wants to come by and join, you are more than welcome to. I think I am going to run a little 3-minute ad break intermission here so that we don't get pre-rolls during the gameplay, and I'm able to go get myself a little snack. So we'll be back in 3 minutes chat if you want to. Again, area official number 5 is the lobby to be in, so we'll see you in 3. Yeah. Alrighty, gamers, we are back. We're going to be hanging out here doing some Nebulous fleet command for a little bit. Some people are popping their heads in and just quickly dipping out, so we're going to see if we can't fill up another round of Broken Bloodline. I'll play a different angle this time on the OSP side to show how the ANS and OSP matchup kind of goes for that. Because last game we were trying to stay out of the Plasma T30 range, and I haven't gotten to run it today. I think I might do a Plasma T30 fleet, just going for that lovely purple burbage, and then trying to follow up with a bunch of 100mm caliber weapons, just seeing if we can't shred through stuff like we saw happen to that battleship. Yeah, hopefully it'll go well. We're just waiting for the lobby to fill up right now, so if you want to, area official number 5, we still have 2 slots open, 1 ANS and 1 OSP, so come on down and hop on in. Like a used car salesman. Like, yes, lovely used cardboard box. Your ownership for only 1,000 tuna cans. Yeah! Either way, lobby is open. If you want to come down and play with me, by all means, just hop on in. I don't typically run voice chat. I know Vivi likes to run open voice chat thing on her server for Fridays. I'm just not quite there yet, so I try and keep it like sort of curated. Like I've gone to the Neb official and that. It's just I've met some people who say, "Oh, you're streaming," and then just drop a bunch of foul language and slurs and stuff that I really don't want to have on my broadcasting. So I try and keep it curated and lovely for you folks. As the unfortunate plight of online gaming and whatnot, I do very much like interacting with people on like social mics and stuff and that. But when it's like I'm recording or just being streamer stuff, it's nice to just have that comfortable level where it's like, hey, I'm not gonna get in trouble or like have anyone just like go oh ree and then throw like every language that they learned on Xbox Live when they were 13 at you. So yeah. Anyways, 6 out of 8. Yeah. Let's do the magical ear wiggle once again. We know that always works for getting us to the game. And I like keep doing it. Alright. Might be the map too, so we could always swap it out for something else. I'm just going to see what maps do they have going with list maps. Let's see. They've got Pillars, Classic, Nix's Eye, Caltrop, if you like icicles, that's a map for you. Broken Bloodlines. Broken Bloodlines has 1, 2, 3, 4 variants of it. Wow. Huh. That's kind of interesting. Didn't know that there was actually 4 of them, so, well, there you go then. Got a bunch of other options. Evora. I'm trying to remember which map that is. Aorta is the one that looks kind of like a heart. Arroya is the one that looks like a donut. I can't remember what Evora is. Kind of funny, it's like these all start with A and then they all get mixed up with each other. So, a couple different options. Let's see. You could actually load up a small testing range in one of the area officials. I found that one kind of funny. I guess it's technically an official map, so it does exist for that. Get the usual suspects of Salar and Nix's Eye, kind of the 2 big 5v5 maps you see a lot of. Occasionally you will see Canyon. Not very much of a Canyon enjoyer myself. I just find that with the number of cap points it has and how dispersed everything is, it can be kind of annoying to get anywhere in that game, and it takes a while to actually get into a fight. So usually end up seeing just a bunch of points get capped out, and then the game finishes by the time you actually end up somewhere. So I don't think the Canyon is necessarily a bad map. It's just not a map for me. So but usually when people see a 6 out of 8 lobby, they jump in here super quick. So I'm just kind of wondering if people are waiting for something else or what. Maybe I'll put a looking for group call into the Discord and just mention that. See if anyone hops in real quick. Yeah. There we go. Just ping people there, letting them know that the last slot is open for both teams here. So whether you want to play ANS or OSP, your options are available. Yeah. We'll also hop into the fleet editor real quick and just kind of take one last look at this, see if there's anything I want to change. I'd say this is probably one of my better builds, just in terms of cost effectiveness for what I get. It's very cheap in terms of the way I run everything. Again, I recommend people to play as greedily as you can get away with. Not as greedily as possible, as greedily as you can get away with. So, the idea being you want to try and get the most value out of your fleet possible, while also opening yourself to the most risk that you can manage. Why you have some fleets there. Technically, I could cut down one of these triple threat bulkers and then invest a little bit more into the 2 of these, but I think that running these, not exactly skeletonized, but just with a fairly cheap amount of stuff in them is probably the best way to go about things. So Let's see if that works or not. Oh, we got another one in there, so it did in fact work. I'm just going to reveal my fleet to the team, showing them what I've got, what I'm bringing. They've got a Bloodhound early warning monitor there, so kind of interesting little thing. It's got a T30 cannon on it. Also got themselves a pair of Plasma and T30. So your ratio of Plasma to T30 kind of varies. In my case, I think about my fleet, and I'm like, okay, I've got a dozen T30 cannons. That's pretty good. And I've got like 14 Plasma cannons. So if I wanted to, I could probably strip down a bit of the Plasma guns on the bulk freighter here in exchange for running T30s. And that does save me some points in the Plant Control Center. But at the same time, that does mean that I have a little less of the kind of full-in purple burp, which I do quite like that ship for. So I might try an experiment later on, seeing if the T30 is ending up actually being worth it or not. Because whether you're firing 48 or 64 plasma rounds, you're still going to be doing a lot of plasma damage to somebody. So, yeah. Anyways, we got ourselves a last person in the slot here, so I'm just going to show off my fleet. And my goal for this is to kind of play the front line. Depending on what we end up doing, I might swap over to running 250 broadsiders with some plasma backup. I do quite like the 1,000-point all-plasma bulk freighter. I know that, yeah, mathematically, I'm just thinking about it a little more now. I should be running T30s on that to ditch the Plant Control Center so I don't have power problems. But it's just so satisfying watching, like, all the purple shots fly out of it. Anyways, got ourselves, looks like we got, yep, all T30s on that. Probably some plasma monitors. Oh, yep. Nice little combo there. I think maybe, well, here's the thing to think about, right? Like, for the price you get monitors for, you can run basically 2 of them for the price of a bulk freighter. You just have to consider is, like, is this better plasma burstage and stuff than I would get from a bulk freighter for their intended role? So they do have the benefit of the plasma spinal cannon, where it fires over time, so you're always doing consistent chip damage, versus mine is very much in the burst format. I would say the burst format is actually advantageous because you can do a whole bunch of plasma strip at once before the enemy can respond. But there is something to be said for the continuous fire, where if the enemy decides they want to try and rotate and turn against you in that and play that angle, you're always doing little bits of plasma chippage. So this does give you some shot between your plasma bursts. That said, we're just going to ready ourselves up here. These are T30s. These are T30s. These are a whole bunch of shuttles. I think we saw these maybe last game? Well, something similar to it anyways. Is it? Just go for the small version of the map then. That way we'll do a nice little 4v4 since we are all readied up. Yeah. I forgot this was actually the big version. Anyways, Broken Bloodline small, similar map style, although it's just a little bit tinier as the name would imply. We are a bit lacking in sort of larger caliber guns, but I think for OSP and current meta, that's all right. I do like having some 250 on the team, but we've got a little bit of that with our aiming spinals and whatnot, so we should probably be able to take this. We just will be at a, well, disadvantage in the long-range fights. We're going for more of a close-quarters skirmish style here instead of trying to sit back with long-range, like, mass drivers and 450 broadsiders. So that's kind of ANS's game plan anyways. They are very much favoring the 4-track correlator spyglass play, where you get a very good track at 11 kilometers and then fire on that, doing shore bombardment style with the big 450 guns. Yeah. It is also worth noting that our fleet is very vulnerable to jamming, so we have to make sure that we are not getting caught by a huge cloud of jamming like we saw me doing last game. So it's important to play both factions and understand the matchup from both angles, because if I run into a pair of Vauxhalls and a pair of escorting EWAR Corvettes like I had been running last game, this fleet is not going to have a good time against that because I just don't really have a way of getting through the radar jamming. Oop, got a null reference exception there. That's probably fine. Most likely it's just a nameplate texture baking thingy going wrong. I remember them saying that they changed some stuff about that to simplify things, and sometimes you'll get like a weird error code thrown up ever since that patch. It could be something else completely, and I don't know because, again, I am not a Nebulous programmer. I'm just someone who... We lost one of them. That's probably why. So they disconnected during the joining. That's what a null reference would be. So we'll just exit back to the main menu here. That should not count as a loss. It says it is a draw. So we will just hop back into one of these servers. Let's see. Switchbacks has a open slot, but we can probably, I think, yeah. We hop into area official number 6. We should be able to rehost and get that back underway. We'll just change the map over. Yeah. Go for our same fleet as last time. And yeah, hopefully that'll work. We'll just have everyone dip out of that lobby and then head back into ours and go from there. Map. Oh, that's odd. Oh, broken bloodlines. That's why. There we are. Let's have everyone quickly vote back the map, and then we'll get that lobby rehosted. Sometimes people will disconnect on join. Don't entirely know why that happens. It's an early access game, so there's going to be 1 or 2 bugs that are kind of notorious for hiding in there, not getting ironed out in that. Just waiting for everyone to hop back in here and finish the map vote. Yeah. I'd rather not play Moss, so I'm hoping that people will join the vote here. It might be that they've... Anyways, we'll see if we can't get that vote again. Broken Bloodline S. Let's see if we can do this or not. Hopefully everyone will revote. I'm pretty sure this is some of the same crew we had before, so we'll just see if we can't get that organized once more. Yeah. Talking about the big rodent skull that we were fighting over. Yeah. They may be rats of unusual size. Yeah. Oh, we got WZ Snipes in here. Or as I like to say, Wez. Not sure if that's right, but either way, Snipes is here, deciding on fleet. We might want to shuffle this a little bit. I actually say that. Yeah. That's how you spell shuffle. Yeah, so we can change things around, go with that and whatnot. I'm just going to select, where's my placeholder fleet? So we'll go with our 10 litter boxes here, just placeholders. Yeah. All right. I could go ANS again. You know, I think I still have time for an OSP game today, so I'm going to go on the ANS side. There we are, and then we can change things around as needed. And that I'm able to pick my different fleets. So the beamstones and whatnot. Bunch of beams. We got a big old battleship. I was planning on going with an axe pair here, but we'll see what quick takes. Can ask them, see what they got there. Bonnie and Clyde sounds like it's a 2 fleet ship, so I might go with one of my ANS cap fleets. I do enjoy running my coffee house style. That's what I was going to do. I was going to change the name of one of my fleets. Where is it? ANS side, cap fleets. Yeah, I've been calling this cap and callouts. I think that I am going to change the name on it. I'm going to hop into the editor real quick and save this fleet as ANS cap. This is going to be coffee shop. There we go. I like the name of that. I'm just going to look at the older iterations of it that I don't really use anymore. So we're just going to delete these like so, and like so. There we go, because we have the coffee shop fleet selected. Yeah. Anyways, returning back to lobby. So this way we've got ourselves a whole bunch of beamstones ready to do a big old aggressive push. Torpedo launcher on that Corvette as well. Nice to see a little scout asset there. We've got ourselves some torpedo Corvettes, a little A-point naked capper, the red eye here. We've got ourselves the barista, nice little tool for going zap zap on people. I'm not sure if I should really go with the naked capper or not, because I find whenever I send something onto a contested cap point, like the middle point on pillars, the A point down low there, it either gets hit by a whole bunch of grape shot or taken out by a rocket strike or something, so it might not be a cost-effective tool for that. Alright, well, I don't know what they're running, but gun, BB, scouts, and beam just in case. Alright, double battleship, honestly, you know what? That's just fine. That is 2 big frontline assets that we can play, so. It is courtesy, once you've got a full lobby up like that, to hit the show fleets button. That way everyone can rotate and pick around as needed. We have ourselves 2 battleships, I think a fleet of beam destroyers, and then me kind of running caps. So, nice to see some of the ANS's big assets can come out and play. Not personally a battleship player, I just find them a little bit too big and clunky. I prefer the Axford, which is a little more nimble, and you can do a bit more with it. Kind of more flexible, even though you can just, play vanilla, run a pair of them. 450 Axfords are pretty good. I'd say they're probably the first fleet you're really going to learn to play. Task Force Oak is very good to start out with. Alright, so let's take a little look-see. I can set up a beam destroyer to watch the D point there pretty well, I think. I can cap this fairly easily. I can just send my, actually, I can send a beam destroyer up here, and then that can sit really tight to that angle and hold that line. I think we'll do that. We'll go with the barista and the red eye up to B. All right. And then we're going to want some scouting, so we'll send the cream up top here and the sugar down here. This is our coffee house fleet, which I very much like. Coffee house, coffee shop. I guess those are like two different things, but they can be similar enough. Could do some missile play over here. I've got the destroyer, but I think that I will run cappuccino and latte with them as well, deploying just a bunch of my assets up that away. And then I can try and contest and hunt down on the side here. I like running pairs of corvettes because it really improves the effectiveness, since you can overload point defense turrets by firing more missiles at once. It also cuts down on your micro a little bit. You don't have to worry about as many things in the battle space. So, yeah. Anyways, Broken Bloodline, this is the small version meant for 4v4s, so a little different than the big old 5v5 version we played last time. There's only 5 capture points here, I believe. Anyways, we're going to have you move up here at best speed. There we go. Set you to full throttle. As for you, you're just going to dive straight towards the point so that you're getting underway. Cappuccino, you're going to team up with Latte over here, and then we're just going to try and have you get onto the A point like so. As for the Americano and the Cortado, we are going to have them group up as well. They're going to be moving over this way. We'll set their formations to loose so that they don't interfere with each other too much. We'll send our spyglass frigates down high and down low. Gonna have this thing try and roll over itself a little bit there. That way we get the Pinard module searching. Yeah, that should be our plan. We are already getting a Elant fix here, so that's very nice to see. We're going to attack marker that. That doesn't seem right. Nah, that can't be right. There's no way that that is over there. Okay, so we must have Pinard. Let's see. Do these have Pinards? Oh, okay, that's why. So these two have Pinard modules right next to each other, giving us a really big error there. But it lets us kind of approximate that there is something over that way, so we're going to instead do an attack marker. Just gonna call out that around there-ish. Estimating, of course, because it probably is a little bit further back. But either way, we're able to make it happen, Captain. I'm gonna set ourselves. Let's see. I'm gonna hold fire and set our heading approximately. There we are. It's our goal to keep the beam destroyer in range of the B point here, but also we can have it kind of close enough to the A point there that we don't get too clobbered. Be able to, I think, position it low here, and then we can just fire our beam over that way. That way anything that tries to attack it will be clobbered. Yeah. Have our fleet cap out the A point like so, and then we can go from there. We got a little picket ship here. I do like seeing battleships that are running pickets. It's a very good thing that more people need to start doing. I see too many people trying to play the sort of greedy 3,000-point battleship, and unless you really know what you're doing, that's not a great idea. So, we're going to have our little spyglass down here roll over and get itself in position. Got our other one up top here trying to give us cross fixes. Ooh, hello. That's mass drivers. Okay, can call that out to the team. Ugh. Okay, number 5 is alive. You are being detected by something which I don't see, and I do not like. Clearly something over that away, so we'll have to cope with that for the moment. As for you, you're just going to go about up over here-ish, like that, and I'm going to actually have you face backwards. The reason being is that way your drive is reversed. Drive can take quite a few hits, is fairly tough. 40 damage threshold and 200 HP will make it survive a little bit of fire. Here we see some grape shot hitting us, so we're just going to try and drive tank this, keeping our essentials alive. The idea being that we are able to get the point and then get out of here. Let's see. Got to position myself so they don't see me. Nicely done. There we go. All right. We're going to be moving up these guys over here, trying to hunt down enemy light assets. D point will be contested as well as C. We know a bunch of their stuff is up top, so we won't bother trying to engage into that since we know that that is a bad idea. Just going to keep situational awareness up around the map. Here we can see that they are about that direction, so we're going to just keep our advance going, trying to spot the enemy as best we can. You can see us currently taking quite a few hits here, but we're making it work decently well. We'll get the B point any second now. Just need to make sure that we have our destroyer in position in cover. There we are. So it is locked on target there. I could try doing some jamming support, but I think it's a little too late for that now. Gonna try and maneuver here. Ow, 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 ow. So in this case, a bunch of their shots are overpenning or just hitting our main thruster there. You can see they've got a pair of line ships set up here. In this case, we're going to have you set up and fire on that one. That is your goal. You're going to be moving just barely out of cover, and we're going to beam it. There we are. Now you are good to go, so just go, 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 go. Full flank ahead. Just get that thruster fixed. Ag. Yep, main thruster is out, unfortunately, so we have to rotate ourselves around and try and get back into cover.
Copy that. Moving. Question repairs.
All right, so now in a second, we'll be able to have this thing get beamed. That should be good. Move you ever so slightly out of cover. I have you guys just moving around the outside to provide escort here. Are you taking fire? You're taking fire, I think. Or it's getting close anyways. Might just have been perspective there, but nope. In this case, the ACAP, the red eye, we did not expect it to live, although it has gotten the point here.
Executing your orders.
Alright, so we're going to cease fire on this thing, instead go in this direction.
Send your traffic.
Where the heck is their capper?
Moving.
So, unfortunately, it's going to be rather annoying. That
Commander, we're
will
taking damage.
hopefully get this in
You're gonna
position.
learn today.
Taking damage.
So that thing is unfortunately down. It is going to reactor bloom by the looks of it, so that will be a lovely little sparky explosion there.
Send your
I think
traffic.
that their shuttle should break off here and not go for the cap. I would be very surprised if they do.
Aye, Commander.
I can see there's something over there. But not sure exactly
Hear you,
what.
Command.
We're a little bit outside of their effective detection range, so we're going to be moving ourselves just a bit closer. There we go. Now we can see there's bulk freighters trying to move and get a bracketing shot on us, so we're going to pull it back ever so slightly. We're still in range to threaten here, but they don't quite have a shot on us, and they also don't see us either, so good. We know a bunch of the enemy assets have deployed on that side, and we're going to try and play around it. Yeah.
Standing by.
Our game plan should be to try and get a spyglass lock on these here, so we're pretty close on them. We just need to move ever so slightly towards them, and that should be that.
Awaiting
As for
orders,
you,
Commander.
I don't see them on the B point, but I will know when they are there, so that is very nice to have. Yeah. Yep. There we go. So we see the bulk freighters there. Yep, they're just going to tear up the B point here. This thing will go super critical as expected any second now. You can see a bunch of their mass driver fire. So, is it going to... Oh, it's a fuel line fire. Never mind. So,
Awaiting orders,
in any
Commander.
case, we are just going to be watching the B point here. They should be getting on any second now, so we have our beam ready, locked on target. Now we are firing. Kind of a rough position where we
You're
think it
gonna
should
learn
be.
Today.
It's our goal to deny them the cap here with our beamstone, although that said, we need to be very careful about where we position ourselves, because if they hop onto the B point and we are not ready to counter them, they will cap it.
Heading
We need
there
to
now,
dip
Commander.
out of cover, beam them, and then quickly get back into cover. That's our plan anyways.
What are our orders, Commander?
Alright, so, as we see over here, there's a big swarm of tugs. We really don't want to tango with that, so we're not gonna. The Americano and Cortado are going to stay in formation, kind of like staying low over here. Remember, we are winning with just 2 points right now, so we don't need to make a play. They do. We're going to try and keep ourselves at range here. The spy down low is a little bit oddly positioned. Its elant is not tracking correctly, so need to adjust that accordingly. Going to actually point its nose upwards in this case. If it will listen to my heading and roll commands, please. Having a little bit of movement there. Oop. They may be shooting at me, they may not. Hard to say. I saw fire go off there somewhere, but I don't... Oh, that's our cue. Okay, we're going to have ourselves firing, jamming like so. Yeah.
Lock them up.
All right, let us quickly get in and out of cover like this. We should be able to lock this thing
Fire control
in a quick
solution.
second or two. Make ourselves go a little bit further. All right, jamming is good, and you are go for launch. Phew. There's our counter.
Standing by.
B-short is on. Cook this thing down. There we are.
We'll get it done.
And that is that. So that is the denial play. Now they know they need to invest a little bit more because I am watching this. It's important for me to not move back to the same point because they will know exactly where I fired that beam from. And now we just need to get ourselves back into cover and it should be good. Yeah. As you can see, they do not have the radar range. Well, now they do. Okay, so we're going to fire our radars
Defense jamming.
jamming like so. That way they cannot see us. And then that is our cue to get into cover again. Yeah. We'll move ourselves into cover here and then creep up along, hopefully trying to get a better position here that we can beam them with. They know they have a beamstone watching the point now, so they'll contend with that as long as they can. Yeah. That keeps us securely ahead here. In this case, we see that there is a light asset,
Yes, Commander.
kind of like trying to creep its way up here. So in that case, we're going to send our little hunter killers after it. You see, Edge here is playing defensively with a pair of beamstones, overwatching this point, making sure nobody can get close to them. We got that tug ball on the run. We're just going to keep ourselves kind of close to the rock here, I think. Yeah. Move ourselves a little bit better formation. I think we can actually get around this corner.
We're underway.
Yeah, we can tuck ourselves into the D point there, I think. Actually, can we? Ooh, this could be sneaky. Okay, we're going to do something sneaky here, chat. I'm going to assume that we're able to get here. Yeah, it looks like we'll just barely be able to get onto the point that way. That'll put us a little further ahead. As for you, we're going to have you ceasing your fire there, since we know that the enemy ships are moving about. I'm going to send an attack ping here, so that way we're able to stay on target, like so. Oop, uh-oh.
Executing your
You've been
orders.
detected. That's not good. We need you to move, like Now. Yeah. Oh, that's a war crime. Shooting at life pods. Don't worry, I won't tell if you want. Yeah. Criminal. Anyways, you can see them burn through sweeping us here. Unfortunately, the shuttle does detect us, so we need to just quickly adjust according to that. I'm just going to try and get out of here with that. I don't know what exactly is locking onto us, but I don't like it. That mass driver is coming our way, and that is less than stellar. Owie. Let's see. If we shut off the radar and comms, no, they must have us locked on with a bloodhound. That's rather unfortunate. Okay, we're probably going to lose the cream here. A little unfortunate, but hey, what are you going to do, right? So, as for you, you're going to just stay in formation, give or take. A little bit of space. There we are. So yeah, unfortunately, they get a bloodhound lock on us, and we can't really shake that. Anyways, number 6 is good there. We know where that bulk freighter is. We're just going to keep you in position like so. Overwatching here. You can see our other battle group here decided to move over. They exchanged a bit of fire and decided not having any of it. We are winning right now, so it is on them to figure out a way back into the game. We're just going to be getting a little bit further ahead here in a second. If I'm looking at this right, there's no way that their mass driver can get an angle on us. Yes. Perfect. Let's see. Just adjust your position ever so slightly as well. There we go. Just trying to keep us as tight to the rock as possible here.
What are our orders, Commander?
There we are. You're decelerating as best as you can. I will turn off the flank in a second, but we should be able to manage getting this cap point. So, the idea here is that the enemy initiative is in their hands. Uh-oh. They detected me. No! I need to not be here. Because that means if that tug is going to swing down and see me, then I'm going to be in for a world of hurt. I'm going to quickly turn off the radar and comms. No, they still see us. Dang it. All right. It is time for our assets to leave. Because our offside scouting is getting detected here. So, let's take a look. We are a little too close to the rock in that case, which means that our thing is going to go bonk bonk. You can see them all positioning here to try and do a big overload onto the B point, because they know I only have a destroyer up here, so their game plan is going to be cap the B point and then go from there. We need to adjust accordingly. So we're going to start kind of playing predatory here, as we just kind of lurk around and look for more angles we can push. We are getting the D point as well, so I'll try and play kind of like long-range escort in this case, since I have a very small radar cross-section with these ships. I should be able to help out the Bonnie and Clyde lovely duo there and go from it. The Edge, unfortunately, losing one of the ships to mass drivers, I think. Yeah. Gotta keep the morale up as well. Keep your head down, we're winning. Rails inflict what I call psychological damage, because it is very annoying getting hit by rails and mass drivers. So we'll just move ourselves out from the cap point here. We had a pretty good idea of where their fleets are, so we're going to try and do some hunter killering. Basically looking around the map, seeing if there's anything that is missileable.
Send your traffic.
All right, so in this case, we see the enemy is moving forwards like so. We want to keep ourselves out of sight here. Thankfully, the our little offside radar here has not been scouted anymore. We're going to just quickly roll it back over again, like so. That way we get the pinard facing upwards, and we can kind of tell where they might be. There's a possibility that I can get a good missile strike off here. Hello, you. You know what? Launch on that. Uh-oh. That's some big missiles. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to quickly launch ourselves some missiles, going after those shuttles up there. Trying to trim out the enemy light assets. Firing off a pair of these should be good. Uh-oh. We're going to be taking a little bit of fire here, I believe. Yep. Okay, so those tugs will see us. This will be interesting. You know what? We're just going to fire all of our missiles into this blob and see how good that goes. Because we may have oopsed it. I did not realize they were just going to go full forwards on us. They probably are going to try for a torp run on those. We will see. All right. Anyways, good missile hits here. Wham. Believe that you are still alive, annoyingly.
Component offline.
Owie. Yep, so the latte is, in this case, now taking mass driver fire, which is not what we want. Owie. Crap. Yeah, I shouldn't have pushed those out there like I did. I was getting a little bit too greedy. I didn't keep track of where the tug swarm could potentially be, and then what they were going to do to punish us. In this case, I don't think that they have anything watching the C point, so we're going to try and snake that as well. See where we go from there. We can see a bunch of their stuff moving forth. Yep. Bulk freighter going to be here and there-ish. Gonna have ourselves on hold fire order. There we go. Need to get ourselves in position to hit these bulk freighters with a beam. Mark it as priority. So yeah, the latte will unfortunately go down here. We're just going to have it switch over to that moving order. It is reinforced, so it will be difficult for them to knock out, and they're going to waste a whole bunch of fire on it, I would hope. That said, that is a very big investment in terms of our points budget and stuff, so we want to make sure we don't lose that. Our spyglass frigate is detected once again, so we need to make you move downwards once more, keeping you out of their range, ideally. Americano and Cortado are about to take C point here. So yeah, Latte unfortunately does go down there to the tug swarm and whatnot. Bonnie and Clyde look like, yeah, I think they got hit by a whole bunch of missiles. That's bad because that is pretty much our big front line right now, so we have to now adjust to the fact that we are down 3,000 points of fleet. Ugh. It could go very poorly, to say the least. I can't take on the tug swarm directly because it is just more stuff than I am prepared to handle.
Target locked.
All right, we are going to then move these over here in a second. This gives us sort of a preview of our jamming cone. Yum.
Establishing lock.
Should be able to fire here now. There we are. Pew pew. Gonna battle short at this range. We're gonna start moving back into cover. This is going to make them think twice about going towards us. Our battle group is all collected up here together. That is good. So this thing is going to get cooked, and we're going to switch over our beam and jamming onto these. There we are. So in this case, they are struggling because we are hitting them with some good electronic warfare. That is a very close shuttle. Hi, buddy. Okay. That is not ideal. We're going to try and do some good beamage here. They're firing into me instead of the battleship, which is just fine. In this case, we need to try and keep ourselves alive here. Prioritize fixing that beam, please. Ow! Cook him! Cook him!
Establishing lock.
Yoo! All right, so we need to desperately try and get back into cover here. All right, anyways, as for you lot, I can probably try and sneak around the backside here. D point and C point, that's going to be tugged in a second, so we need to really get ourselves going here. Yeah. Gonna move down along the rock like so, keeping out of their mass driver range. As you can see, the barista here, unfortunately, we're getting a mag cook-off, so I'll have to try and fix that in a second. Owie. No sense having battle short on. Our jammers are not effective at the moment. That is rather painful. That said, we can probably fix the mag in time, I think. We'll get the beam turrets active and maybe fix the blanket jammer as well. Owie, owie, owie. Stupid criticals. Yo! Get beamed. Actually, wait, hang on. I have command. Fire the spin bunkers. I'm hoping these will not go into the rock. This could go poorly. We're gonna find out. So, missiles out. Come on, spin bunkers. Whee! Well, at the very least, it keeps their attention. I think we got a hit. We got one hit. Yippee! All right. Anyways, so Cappuccino is gonna have to stay over here-ish, I think, because I don't really have a good target for it right now. Yeah, we're just kind of getting folded, unfortunately, now. Eek.
Internal damage. We're getting
Okay, we need to fix our beam turret with a restore when we get a chance to. Oop, that's not our ship. This is. Yeah, now unfortunately, we're getting folded from all angles here. No! Cappuccino just needs to hang back. We're going to move the Americano and Cortado up into engagement range, trying to get onto some stuff here. See, there's cargo feeders here. I wonder how good their defenses are. Is a battle group we'll have to contend with. I think going for the back cap will be our best play, so we're going to try and keep ourselves off radar, ideally, and then move towards their back points here. That way we can probably get their mass drivers as well with some well-placed shots. So, it's a bit of a, that can be a bit of a better path. Let's try and, get these things over this direction. There we go. That's good enough. That'll work. All right, so these things, low radar cross-section, keeping them low profile. Cappuccino is holding its ground here along with one of our beam destroyers. We are set up to try and ward off that tug swarm wherever they ended up, but at the same time, we are also taking a lot of damage over here. Owie. We're going to have you move backwards, essentially. I think Edge has a beam destroyer coming around here to clean up our flank, so that is good for us. We're going to cease fire on that since that is not our ideal target. We're going to instead try and get this beam cannon fixed back up. Once that's repaired, we also will need the magazine for point defense. Once we've repaired the beam turret, we should be able to engage a couple of those bulk freighters over there. Battleship is taking a lot of fire here, but is withering it fairly well. I'm not sure how much return fire they're giving out, but they might have gotten hit in the magazine. Owie. We have some assets that we can come into play with. All right, I can get a sense of where that tug swarm is, just judging by that amount of fire there. So I'm going to do just that. Say this. Yeah, that approximate location. As for you, you're just doing your lovely job of keeping your radar cross fixes over there. Or just kind of general awareness. All right. It's entirely possible that they will sweep the early warning radar towards us for the E point, so we're instead just going to send one of our ships off skywards towards those mass drivers, try and give them something to think about in a second here. Yeah. I haven't seen them fire for a hot minute here, so either they do not have arc or they have been taken down by something or other. So we're going to hope that they've been, well, just kind of neutralized for the moment. All right, here we see the swarm as we expected going on to point here. Oh, they see us. That's not good. Okay, time to leave. Have a missile or two for good measure. Fire.
Our sensors are all over the place.
Never mind. All right, we're just going to pop chaff here in hopes that will evade. There we go. All right, so once again, you are back up operational beam stonage. Let's go. We're going to try and get a hit in or two. Thankfully, our flanks are being cleaned up thanks to our lovely allies. So we'll go ahead and get our beams on target here, ideally. Fairly certain that the bulk freighters are pretty hurt, but our battleship is not having a good time here either. So, all right, we know that they were going to get the point there. As we see, missiles have been fired off, and they go onto our chaff. Very nice.
Yes,
so,
Commander.
anyways, we're going to be getting the back caps here in a second. As for you, where are you? That's a cargo feeder. It's not what we're after, really. We want you to move up a bit here in hopes that I can spot the enemy stuff as well. Let's check on our number 6, or number 5 rather. Where's the barista? There we are. The intel barista is going to move itself backwards and try and get onto that bulk freighter here in a second. We're going to have it hold fire until we are in arc. Fortunately, we don't have any jammers. I would love to, but sadly do not. Yeah, just a whole bunch of the enemy fleet is overloading us here. Let's take a little look. Where is that? How's the Catboy doing? We're playing Neb. It's kind of going. Could be better, could be worse, all things considered. Yeah. Adjust your heading and roll, please. Thank you. So the Cappuccino over here. Yeah, unfortunately, that Tug Swarm, we just don't have a good answer to that right now. We're going to have to try and do our best to basically sneak backcappers around. We are backcapping right now as we speak on the E point, so that is going good for us. Battle run through again. Where are they? Yeah. Oh, Big Sippy. All right, one sec. Big Sippy taken. Thank you. All right. They have mass drivers somewhere. I just don't see where. Maybe it's these ones? Cargo feeder, bulk freighter. I could go for a torpedo run on that, but I'm a little questioning of the effectiveness. Oop. Unfortunately, it looks like... Yeah, dang it. Okay, you are locked. You are good to fire. Open fire as soon as you can, please. Thank you. Get the beams fixed. Yo! So unfortunately, it is down to just me and Microsoft Edgelord over here, so we're going to have to try and make it happen, Captain. All right. I think that, honestly, their ships moved off here. Yeah, because I'm not seeing their mass driver array anywhere. So, stay hydrated. Yep, I will stay hydrated. Don't worry. Yeah. Can actually do a silly here. We're going to tuck ourselves into this little crevice and then slide along there. Big old Broken Bloodlines map. Kind of looking like... is this one like a bird skull or rodent skull? I'm not sure. But either way, it's Big Skillington. So, we're going to provide our... ally a little bit of support here. I think that this tug, yeah, that one's pretty toasted. Is it dead, though, is the question. Yes, that one is, in fact, dead. There we go, marking as killed. Oh, okay, so we lost our beam destroyer. We're going to just reduce our assets down to what we got. We got the Americano, the Cortado, and then we got the Sugar. The Cappuccino has been detected here, rather unfortunately. That said, we have 2 torpedoes in the water. Go get them, Tigers. Yeah. Fire. Hopefully these torps are good. They do have a Pavis, though, which is a bit annoying, so we're going to instead fire some spin bonkers as well at it. The spin bonkers are cheap little size 1 missiles, which should coordinate their fire with our fleet. Hopefully they will approach at the same time as our size 3s. There we go. Big old missile strike going off on this thing, and a beam for good measure as well. Yeah. Alright, these should be a impact kill, I think. Maybe... Womp. 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 There we go. Lights are out. Is it dead? Magic smoke? It's dead. Yes. Yippee. All right. Engagement has been completed. Yippee. All right. We need to take a look at the map situation right now. We can get some caps back here, but we're going to have to be sneaky about going and doing that. I'm going to hide myself wherever I can since I'm down to just pretty much like either scouting or my sort of torpedo shuttles, and I don't really have anything that I can fight their big assets with. I can heavily, like, disable them, but I don't have anything to really knock out their big stuff, so We're going to just have to hope that our beam destroyers over here have cleaned up, and then we'll be able to get onto the points. We're going to instead have you flank speed over to here, taking a look with what we got. We know that again the C point, we can probably get the D point back. Our beam destroyers have done a wonderful job of cleaning up against the enemy cap fleet, so it's our job then to move in and capture the points. Let's see, so the Americano, you've got a full complement of missiles still ready to go, so we're going to see if we can't do something with that. I'm keeping the Spyglass frigate over here and doing a pretty good job of keeping myself aware of where the enemies are. They can't see me, which is very nice. Yeah. We see a big swarm of them still over there, so we have to be careful about peeking around that corner. If we go onto the point, then we are going to suffer heavily, so we have to make sure we don't do that. Going to slow down our speed here to provide a bit of a backside attack. The beam destroyer doing its thing, although the mass driver is all the way up there. That's where you went, little nag. Alright, well, we're going to try and do a bit of aggression here. We will see if this works or not. Fire the insta-stages, and then fire the torpedoes after that. Try and see if we can't get some of these through. Missiles out in the water, and we're going to try and go over here and do the same thing. Firing drumsticks for effect. That is going to distract a bunch of people with the jamming in question. That said, I think that these missiles should be good. Let's find out. Actually, it's going to cancel all of my fire orders, which is rather unfortunate. Ah! Well, it gives us cover at the very least. Let's hope it's good. Yee! Fresh Bunny, thank you, welcome. We are in the middle of some nebulobbies, so we're going to see if we can't get some torpedo strikes out here. Fire for effect. Kind of just trying to jump on a point here. This is probably not going to go well. We are really reduced in terms of our effective combat assets. I think that I'm the last one alive as well. We're just giving it one last final hoorah. Might be it, Chief. I don't think our torpedo is going to get that much point defense. Yo! So unfortunately, that is all of our missiles, really, that we can throw at them. We have one missile left as a technicality. See our lovely corkscrew missiles going off here, slamming into the side of this thing. Come on, alarm bells. Oop, that hit right in the drive section and engines and stuff. It should be disabled. Maybe not.
What are our orders?
All right, well, unfortunately, I think that that is our last hurrah. We've only got our beam destroyer here, which I don't think is going to make it either. Nope. Unfortunately, we kind of blundered where our front line, the, the Clyde and the Bonnie, yeah, the two of them kind of went forward and got torpedo struck by a torps tug swarm, and then our battleship ended up getting torn up over here on the B flank because they overloaded us, so rather unfortunate to see. I think we had a very good shot on this. We just made a couple of misplays. I'll just ask if they want to tap out here, because I don't see us really getting back into the game in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. You know what? Just as one last final hurrah, you're going to fire off 2 missiles. Just gonna fire this in spite.
We've lost a component.
Yeah. We're not going to win this one, unfortunately. Such is the nature of them just having too many military assets. Their front line is still alive. Our front line is not. They still have a cap fleet in their form of their tugs. Ours, unfortunately, got jumped and cleaned up in various different ways. So, just going to see, do we have anything offensive still? Not really. You know what? I'm going to try just fire one more. Yep. All right, let's see. Last hurrah's out. There is a shuttle up here that I think I got earlier. This is just going to be one last spiteful hurrah. After this, I am going to surrender, and then we'll move on to the next game.
Did anyone notice the lights flicker?
You should have a ship over here. I think I got the angling right. I don't know. I was very confused when the mass drivers went, because they were in this area the whole game, and then they just kind of went somewhere else, and it's like, oh, that's where you went. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get these in arc. If not, then, oh well. Yeah. You are detected by you, so I'm just going to fire a little shot against that. See if it works or not. Probably won't, but yeah, we see mass drivers around there. Still no lock. I must have mispositioned it, so oopsies. Come on. Oh, you're so close. Please. No! I fired it perfectly between the two of them. Oh, and they have point defense anyways. Okay, I'm just going to retire then. F. Oh, F's in the chat. Fortunately, that will be the game. Yep. We could have definitely won that. We just made a couple of misplays that we can correct. All right. So yeah, as you see here, unfortunately, our ships, they ended up getting jumped super big there. So yeah, they never got a chance to really do too much damage. It was the enemies. Where is it? yeah, they just had a big old swarm of tugs with torpedoes and stuff. Very good at crippling the ships that we see here, the Bonnie and Clyde. Or, no, this isn't the Bonnie and Clyde. Where are they? Oh, no, they had nicknames and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so in that case, we had a pretty good hold with, yeah, just like fleet of 4 beam destroyers. Nice little point guards. We saw them deployed in good angles and stuff. The Solomon took a whole bunch of damage before finally going down. It managed to do some in return, but unfortunately, OSP just has the advantage with their Plasma T-30 in that close range bracket. We got some pretty good damage dealt with one of our ships. Yeah, the Barista managed to beam a shuttle and then really cooked into a bulk freighter before it lost the beam turret and then went down. Not the best damage numbers in terms of stuff, but we were mostly trying to play cap game. We got a couple missile strikes off there. Yeah. Because unfortunately, we did end up getting knocked out with one of our frontline fleets earlier, and then the enemy took the initiative to just kind of roll over us since it was basically a 4v3 at that point. So, oh well. You see their mass drivers, they did very well. Mass drivers positioned high the entire game, raining down fire. They just farmed a stupid amount of damage off of all our stuff, and we weren't able to recover from that. So they did very good fly swatting. Plasma T-30s getting about what you'd expect. They peel apart a battleship with, yeah, they've got, what's it, T-30s. Only a single one on this fleet. Yeah, Plasma T-30, very good at what it does right now. This one never fired a shot, interestingly enough. Not really sure where that Volker was the entire game, but either way, it will be a L, but, I mean, hey, those happen sometimes. Super Capitals Brawl. Not sure what they mean by that. Maybe it's probably one of the modded things. Anyways, I'm gonna find another lobby. I think I've got time for one more today. Let's go and see. I think area officials, let's see. Yeah, number 6 was the one we were just in, and number 5 is full as well. So those are the usual modded lobbies. I say modded lobby. It's the official servers with modded maps that I like to get into. We're gonna go ahead and hop into, I think, one of the US West ones, 2 and 3. Both of them have the same map. They have a little bit higher ping, but I'm not too worried. Let's go number 2. I'm going to do our little 3-minute intermission so nobody gets ads during the game here. So we will be back in 3 minutes, as I also have to get myself more snacks. And yeah, stay cool, chat. We'll be back in 3. Alrighty, gamers, we are back at it. NebuLobby Fleet Command is alive and well. Microsoft Edgelord joining us again after last match. They did very well with the Beam Destroyers. Oh, we got Grunker hopping in now. So we are in area official number 2. Broken Bloodline. Having played the game, 2 games in a row on Broken Bloodline, I'm not sure if I want to go for a third match on it or not. We'll see what people end up deciding on. Oops, Grunker unfortunately dipping out there. So we knew there was at least 2 servers that were full up right now, so hopefully one of those games will end and then everyone will quickly jump over and whatnot. I'll just post another looking for group in the channel for that on the Neb Discord. Anyone is welcome to join, of course. Tippity type. There we are. So, hopping in now. So in the last game, it was rather unfortunate because we ended up getting Axford pair. They pushed up in a position that they thought was safe, and unfortunately the Tug Swarm decides to jump out at them in that case, and just there's not really much you can do against a whole swarm's worth of torpedoes like that. OSP is very good at dumping a whole bunch of missiles at one time and then overwhelming your point defense just faster than you're able to shoot them down. They will scream in with all the torpedoes, so that's why we ended up kind of like starting what was the loss there. I think that if we had gotten ourselves in position to counter the B-side push a little bit sooner, we could have done a bit better there. Ultimately, I only had a destroyer there that did get a very good shot of beam into the bulk freighter, but unfortunately I missed most of the critical components I really wanted to knock out. Plus the addition of the shuttles rapidly running around the corner and then chewing me up with their little guns. They did a very good coordinated push there, so I must commend them for that. We just chose fights that we really were not favored in that case, so. I think that this time around, kind of want to do the OSP T30 Plasma, like we saw last game being so effective. I would say that it's probably the current best way to run bulk freighters, just in terms of cost and impact and whatnot. The T30, the high explosive... Actually, I can just show you in the editor here in a second. Yeah. So, if we take a look at our munitions storage here in the reinforced magazine, if you look at the 250mm high explosive shell, you will notice it does 80 damage in... where's that radius? Yeah, explosive radius of 9 there, versus the HEHC does 70 in a radius of 10. So, essentially, this 100mm gun is firing the same caliber kind of like damaging rounds as the 250. So it is quite potent in terms of the damage, because if we take a look at our T30, it has an autoloader size of 16. So it's able to deal basically as much damage from one of these as we are able to deal from one of our C56s. That said, there's, of course, a little bit of difference there, because, again, the C56, it does fire the 250 shell, has slightly more damage, a little bit bigger splash coming out from the high explosive capped rounds for the 100mm. So that is both a blessing and a curse. It means you're going to hit more modules, which means you do more damage across everything, since your damage is split evenly, depending on how many modules you hit. But that can also mean you struggle to knock out certain reinforced modules. So, bit of give and take. That said, if we were to run C56s, we would only be able to run 4 of them on one side of these things, so we would have to limit ourselves to 4 guns. Comparatively, we're able to run 4 on the backside here, and then 2 more up here, so really we end up getting 6 guns. So that's a bit of why the Plasma T30 combo is so good. Particularly, the 250 rounds are... I will give the 250 rounds credit, they're good against targets that do not have plasma stripping done. But when you're running a build like this that has the mighty purple burp, then you're just kind of able to remove armor from ANS capitals in general. So, if anyone was wondering why Plasma T30 is so good right now, that is a big part of it. You're just able to get more damage out effectively than you are with, say, other calibers like 250. Oh, we got, what's that? Hello, Jex the cat, I believe. Nice. Always nice to see other cats. You, good sir, madam, I say, meow 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 meow. And for those of you who don't speak cat, that says hello. Anyways, reveal what our kind of plan is. Ooh, they've got triple bulk freighters. So in this case, they're going with the C56s, running Bastions. Must be worried about some size 2 missiles. Got a little early warning tug as well. So these are very cheap in the regards that you're having to fit each of these for less than 1,000, plus the early warning tug with this setup. That's at least like 250. Cat spotted, must bite. Yo! Hello, Archivist. We're just playing some NebuLobby Fleet Command as we wait for a final person to join on our team side, and we should be going somewhere from there. Let's see, what's it? List maps. We'll probably swap out Broken Bloodline here. What do we want to play? You know, I like Arroyo, and I haven't played Arroyo today, so we're gonna play Arroyo. I hope. We'll see if they cast their votes or not, and see where we go from there. So yeah, it's probably gonna be my last match of the day. I have stuff to do at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is in about 40-ish minutes, so don't want to be late for that. Yeah, hopefully we'll get in one last good one. Had a couple rough games at first to start out with, but then we managed to pull it back a bit from there, so yeah. Having a wonderful evening? Yes, I am. Yeah. I'm going to do the magical trick to summon another player, which is I'm going to close my eyes and wiggle my ears, and for some reason this works. I don't know why. Just in the wiggling. Yeah, normally that works in MechWarrior. I'm not sure if it's something Nebulous specific or not that might struggle with it, but fortunately we don't get the vote for Arroyo instead, so must be a rather unfortunate case if somebody is not casting their vote. Yeah. Either way, real gremlin hours in that, but I'm thinking like I could try running the other variant of this fleet that I like doing. If we look at our broadside fleets, I've kind of organized my fleets between basically the 4 categories of OSP. You've got broadside, you've got cap fleets, you've got topside fleets, and you've got cheese. We have a couple different ones. I still have to finish this fleet. Every time I open this cheese file, I forget to finish this fleet. We've got our variety of cheddar, which is a Torpcello, plus a bunch of little rocket T-20 shuttles. We've got Swiss over here, which is just oops, all rocket shuttle. We've got Set Squall, or Squale, or a 7-nut majority. Yeah, that's actually a good question about that. I wonder how they cast with that. Anyways, Set Squall, these are a combination of Gale and Squall missiles, so they have homing on jamming and the home on illumination. So, fun little cheese file here. I haven't done the same quite on ANS side. I've just been still organizing a bunch of my different fleets here, so eventually I'll come around to it. I think I do play more OSP than ANS. I just tend to find that I like the OSP playstyle a little bit more. It gives me some better variety. I feel the tool gets a little more advanced too, so once you kind of know what you're doing, you can experiment a bit more and have some fun with that. Versus ANS, you're not so much rigid, as it's just more you've got conventional tool set, if that makes any sense. Like OSP, you can do some weird shit, which is very fun. Yes, that's a good question. How is 4 out of 7 not majority? Like, we casted 4 votes. There's 7 of us. I guess 1 voted no, but even then, that's that's 4 to 3. Edit our looking for group thing. So hopefully we'll get another person in here. Lobby is open if anyone wants to join. Let's see. So we already had the map list here. Let's try Honeycomb instead. See if we can get some people onto that one. I just don't want to play Broken Bloodlines again. I think because it's a 10-player map, they might not get it. Yep, there we go. We are going to Honeycomb. So hopefully somebody will just hop into the last slot here, and that'll be good. Yeah. I know some people will get intimidated by certain maps. Like I personally don't enjoy playing on Canyon or Caltrap too much. Other people are kind of in the Pillars Forever lobby, and well, I mean, I respect them for only wanting to play one map, but at the same time, it gets a little bit boring over time, just kind of playing the same map over and over and over again. This is part of why I don't play Counter-Strike. I like when you've got certain things, like, one thing I really like in games is when you've got the variety of how you play it, and then also the map variety. So, like, for example, I can pick basically whatever I want for my fleet here, but if I was to play the same map over and over again, I could, in theory, just pick the same fleet over and over again and very perfect it for that map. But if that fleet were then taken to a different map, it would have to play a different style because there's different angles of approach, there's different tools that you want to control there. Like, let's say if I'm playing on Pillars, I might want like a pair of beam destroyers to watch our natural cap points. I might want a couple of torpedo corvettes to go and hunt down enemy light assets and stuff. Comparatively, if I go to a completely different map, like Honeycomb, which is different layout, then you get some interesting variants. Yeah, variation is important in any game. Yeah. I will say this. Okay, so random side tangent, as is prone to do on the channel. I'm shoving chocolate chips in my mouth and you can't stop me. So. Random side tangent. I have played League of Legends and Dota before, and I do think that MOBAs are quite interesting, even though a lot of the gameplay and style of them does kind of breed toxicity. In my opinion, I think that Heroes of the Storm was the best MOBA because it had what a whole bunch of them just did not. Catty Waddy! Yes, we got into the cat! Okay, but back to my rant for a quick second. But I liked Heroes of the Storm because it had map variety and a couple of... No, we lost the other cat. It's going to ruin my thought process. Anyways, you can see me getting distracted. Yeah. I liked Heroes of the Storm because it meant that you had map variety, you had a lot of just interesting stuff that rewarded teammates, just like working together. XP was shared across the team, so you didn't have that angle. I think it was just a great example of how to do a game right, where like you can have all these different heroes, but if you have something like League of Legends, it's very refined. Like, here's the map. We have 100 different champions. Each of them has like their own specific thing that they kind of do on that map, or like their own specific build that overlaps a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Heroes was great. Yes, I am still mad at Blizzard for how they treated Heroes over its entire lifespan, because Heroes of the Storm, objectively speaking, was good. Like, it was a game that was accessible to pretty much everyone. Was it perfectly balanced? No. There was a couple like upsets here and there. Some heroes were good, some heroes were bad. There was some problematic metas and stuff. It had its gameplay cycle, but in terms of what it offered, it was not like one of the two competing main MOBAs, which was League and Dota, because they were just the big giants. But HOTS was great for the people who were like, I want to play a MOBA, but I don't want to play a MOBA. Because if you play League and Dota, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you get a very specific kind of playstyle catered to and reward. That's like, there was not really a like, I describe it. There's not like a super static or like toxic like precision thing you can do. There was toxicity, yes, but that comes with every MOBA. It just did things differently, and it gave you enough variety of different heroes and matchups. No game felt the same, and it rewarded you for actually playing the game instead of farming for 20 minutes. I can go on for great lengths about why I like Heroes of the Storm so much. I technically did play the game professionally at one point. Just, that was like a very short run, and I say technically because officially I could get rewarded for playing in tournaments in that regard, and I didn't have another job at the time. So technically, it was my job to play Heroes of the Storm. I'm not saying I was any good at it. I don't think we won anything. Actually, we might have won like a $50 gift card once, but that's like it. So, yeah. I really hope the Heroes of the Storm gets revived by Microsoft, because I think they're doing a whole like Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard buyout, something other. We got Overwatch onto Steam, so I'm really hoping that they bring back HOTS, because just like objectively speaking, all the content in HOTS is a lot of fun. And it's primarily designed around that kind of gameplay, where the opening to Heroes of the Storm, like when you just load up into a match the first time, it is the expected thing for everyone to run down the mid lane and have a team fight at level 1. You don't get that in other MOBAs. Everyone goes off to their lane and then grinds loot and does their thing in the jungle or whatever for like 10, 20 minutes or so, and then somebody's like raging about something that hasn't even happened yet. In HOTS, it's just like you show up and you do silly shit. And it also has like all the unconventional characters you just never expect to see anywhere. Like, I think of just like characters that are weird. Like you have Abathur, who is just this random little slug who hides in the corner of a map and he puts a hat on people. But he's really good at that, so he empowers other characters that way. You just don't get this kind of design in other things. The Lost Vikings, it's 3 different bodies you can control independently. You just kind of hop around the place and do different things. You have great map control there. Or things like Cho'Gall. They put 2 characters, like, you can have 2 players controlling the same body. It's a 2-headed ogre. One of them controls the legs, one of them controls the, like, kind of, they basically act as a gunner with the magic side of it. Yeah, Murlocking. Yeah, Murky. Murky is so funny. Like, you kill him, you're only rewarded, like, a quarter of the XP you normally get for a kill, and he comes back in 5 seconds from his egg. He's just this adorable little baby Murloc that is pretty much Satan incarnate. It's just such a funny game with all these concepts, and it's a bunch of Blizzard characters, which I really liked. I'm just sad with how dirty they did it, because they pretty much screwed the game so bad that when Heroes of the Storm had its competitive scene, literally the rug pulled from under them. Upper management at Blizzard side, they kind of knew this was coming, and they just didn't tell anyone until like the last possible second. Said, hey, yeah, by the way, HGC, the Heroes Global Championship, it's canceled. It's just gone. And this was like right before Christmas. They just basically said, yep, we're not doing it anymore. We've decided we don't want it. And then basically like a week or 2 before Christmas, everyone in the competitive scene just kind of like looked at each other and went, oh, now what? So yeah, that is kind of interesting, because what ended up happening was, because this was like such a industry shock, this ended up getting some bills passed in Korea about their esports scene regulations, saying, no, you cannot just like overnight pull the plug on your competitive scene. These are technically considered athletes and stuff. They have some rights to protection and knowledge of this thing. So yeah, once again, Blizzard manages to fuck up so badly that they have to get laws changed. It's just, oh boy. none of my complaints about Heroes of the Storm are to do with the gameplay itself. Maybe with like one or two heroes that I just don't quite enjoy as well. When they started doing like original content for the game, it's like, okay, there's like, oh, these are Nexus exclusive heroes. They don't appear in any other Blizzard game. I'm like, that's not really what I was interested in. They were also kind of annoying to fight against, but I did like the kind of expanded universe they were going for with it, and it was fun to see like the mashup of pretty much like the equivalent of a MOBA of all of your favorite like action figures as a kid or something, just like mashing themselves together. It's like, okay, we're gonna take StarCraft and Warcraft, Diablo, and we're gonna have this big old fight go off. Like, what if, you know, Arthas happened to try and fight Diablo? What happened then? It's a great thing. I really miss HOTS. I could install the game again, but I can't justify having the Blizzard launcher on my computer. I used to play a lot of Blizzard games. I was really big into Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone. I played a bit of Overwatch in there too, but nowadays I'm just still mad at Blizzard for the way that they've kind of ruined a lot of their IP. It's really sad. Fortunately, it looks like a bunch of people are dipping out here, so they probably just got sick of waiting for a final one. If there is anyone who wants to join in, the lobby is still open, area official number 2, so if you'd like to hop in here while I do my little soapbox ranting about Blizzard games that have kind of gone down. Like, I don't think that Blizzard is incapable of making a good game, but it's just really sad to see how much, kind of, like, essentially it's the enshittification process. Like, anything, it gets big, and then it just kind of, like, rots sort of from the inside as you get more people in charge who are just completely disconnected from what they're making. Games are, by design, like an art project. There needs to be a connection between the people who are kind of running the company, keeping the lights on, doing all the finance stuff and that, leadership direction, etc., and also the people who are actually making the game. And when you get to like companies the size of Blizzard or Activision or EA, Ubisoft, anything like that, you just get more and more disconnect there to the point where the people who are basically running the company have no idea what the game is about or anything like it. And it's just kind of the natural process of games companies growing like that. You see it a bit with movies, too, where you can get certain studios that are just like, okay, we're going to throw, like, I don't know, $500 million at this thing, and you're going to make this film. And they're like, we have no idea what you're asking for with this. Yeah. It's a bit of the disconnect there, but I don't think that, like, people are incapable. Like, don't get me wrong, a large company can still put out a good game. But I think that most of the time, when you have a smaller team that's better connected and has everyone kind of on the same page, it's much better. Like, I know in jobs I've worked, if I'm able to basically walk up to my boss and say, hey boss, we need to do this thing, here's why, here's how this works, and they're in the know enough to say, okay, yes, I understand why you want to make that decision. All right, here's our plan that we're going to work out and go from there. You just get effective communication and stuff solved versus large companies. You've got, like, take Diablo 4, for example. There was, like, 2,000 or 3,000 people that worked on that game. I can't think of any game that needs 2,000 to 3,000 people. Like, what was everyone doing? It just makes my mind boggled because I think about small projects that ended up being really successful. Like Deep Rock Galactic started incredibly small and it blossomed into a wonderful shooter that's onto its like 5th or 6th year now, and I'm very much looking forward to more content for that. Other games that really kicked off, you see some things like Valheim that had like a team of like, I think it was like 4 people. They just were doing a bunch of their playtesting. They had everyone kind of on the same page and it delivered really well. Bungie back in the early 2000s, they were a little bit kind of like, maybe not the best managed, because let's be real, Halo 2 happened, and they were pretty pressured for that one. But they still kept everyone on the same page and delivered a good product. Now we get things like, I don't know, you see these like, oh, it's a new quadruple A game. Yeah, this is going to be really great. It's going to have all these like magic things that'll happen. It's just like, I don't get it. There's just too much disconnect between like what the people who are like trying to make a whole bunch of bank off the game is. Because again, it's with like pretty much any publicly traded company, you're going to have people who just want to make bank off it. It's just the disconnect there. There's people who know how to make a good game and want to make a good game, and then there's people who just don't understand what that entails. So, it's rather sad to see where you can see like a game that has great potential, but is just deliberately held back by certain things. I think about Darktide, for example, where that game was, as I understand it, kind of in development hell for a while. Eventually, they end up releasing the 1.0 version, and it was not great at launch. I will give them credit. They've put a lot of work into it since, but at the same time, what worked at launch? The item shop, the cash shop, the thing that makes you constantly keep coming back and logging in and grinding in that. It's like, I see where priorities laid for this. So, yeah. It's just really sad to see games like that, because I think the games, ultimately, it is the art project that makes a game good, because at the end of the day, like, if you don't own all the, like, 1,000 skins, that doesn't really matter. What matters is, like, was there a bunch of passion put into this? Was it made well? Do you get the vibe that the people who are making it actually care in that? So, got our last one in here, so let's hope we finally get a matchup. I'm assuming one of the other games ended. Yeah. I really hope that stuff is just made better, because it can be. That's ultimately it. You can make something better. You can improve upon it, you can develop it, you can add on to that, but you just need people to be kind of on the same page, get the idea, and get everyone kind of working together to make a group project work. Because otherwise, you're going to have everyone like trying to go off their own way, and you just end up clashing, and it ends poorly. So, all right. I want to play Plasma T30, but we're also a little bit lacking in terms of capping assets. So, I might have to be the cap fleet here. Let's see. Could do the Great Value style. Got a command cruiser there and some other things. We'll see what we can throw out there. We already have a pair of command cruisers, so I probably don't need that. Command cruiser is very good at providing team-wide buffs with the CR75 antenna and a bunch of EWAR in that. Do the support and salt 4th variant. We tried this at the start of this stream, and it did not go so great, so we're going to try it this time and see if we're able to do better or not. Yeah. Hopefully we will be able to. Either way, we've got ourselves a, looks like a, I believe it's a monitor swarm. Just, I don't know the formations yet, so we'll have to see in game. Monitor swarm, some bulk freighters, and I believe we had a pair of Ocellos. So that's a pretty nice little collection of fleets there. Most of those probably going to be frontline. Don't know for sure. It could be a missile swarm in the like monitors and stuff. It could also be missile bulkers. We'll find out once we get into game. Either way, I think that we're going to deploy like this. So we're going to send our mass driver liner over here, along with the little spotter for it. Rocket shuttles and stuff we can send off somewhere else. All right, let's see. So the distant gaze and the earnest warnings, these are our early warning tugs. They're going to deploy up high so we can see around the map. Yeah. Funny thing is your voice sounds like Operator Drewski. I don't know who that is, but thank you, I think. I'll take it. Unfortunately, as far as I am concerned, I just sound like every other quirked up white boy goated in the SWAS. So, let's see. We'll send you down to cap the B point here. As for the fire drift in the order set, you're just gonna run off this direction and be our like little obligatory naked cappers there. I think that actually we can set you to go here, and then we'll have rocket shuttling going towards the D point. Because we're gonna try and stack up for this, so we're gonna send our contesting assets that way. Yeah. Or I could try and rocket shuttle E point on its own. You know, actually, well, I guess we're not gonna do that anymore. So let's go. On topic of like what I sound like in that, I don't try and do like any particular voice pitching and stuff. I just try and be, I don't know, sort of a happier version of myself. It's kind of like, I guess part of my streaming thing is I want to be more positive because it's very easy to be negative in modern day and era. You heard me just like complaining a little bit about the state of video games, etc. and that. So I try and keep myself as positive as possible because it is, like I said, it's just too easy to be negative. You can think that everything is trash or shitty or whatever. That's the easy way of going about it. The better way is to think, okay, well, things are not great, but let's find some stuff that's good, and let's start working on the stuff that's not. We can just think, okay, well, here's what we improve, here's how we do these things, here's how we keep positive. It's part of the thought I had from gaming as well. That's probably a battleship, if I had to guess, right? Let's take a look. So, yeah, you have to think, it's like, okay, well, will, like, being upsetty spaghetti about all of this stuff, will this make me feel better? Will this help anything with that? And if it doesn't, then I just kind of try and avoid it. Like, I could be upset about many things in the world. It's just, though, I had to think, okay, I've got to prioritize. There's only so much I can actually do here. So, what should I be, like, upset or concerned about? And then what can I do about it? So, just need to prioritize, because otherwise you'll end up kind of just, like, stuck in a loop feeling awful or so, and that's not good for you or for anyone. So, yeah. You have to balance between, like, taking care of yourself and, you know, also just getting stuff done. You know, I'll mark this as a priority. There we are. I'm going to try and fire some Balcon posts at it, which is what I've named my mass drivers. Mass drivers are notorious for making certain players upset. I can't entirely blame them because they are very oppressive in their chosen role. But anyway, we've got ourselves moving towards the point here. Going to set ourselves to flank speed so we get there ASAP. Yeah.
Moving out.
Move ourselves over it. So the sassy meat is our first target. We're going to go after that thing in a second. See how sassy that meat is indeed. Gonna take our early warnings and look over here at what we got. Those are two big tracks. I'm betting that might be a pair of Axfords. Not uncommon to see. Task Force Oak and its derivatives are very common. Let's see. We have a lock on the target there, so we're gonna go ahead and fire on it. Pew pew. We see more mass drivers firing from above, so... Ooh, it's a mass driver array. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that these were mass drivers. I should have checked before. But either way, we're going to fire on the sassy meat here as it's trying to find itself some cover, just moving ourselves along this way. Let's see, so we got that as well over there. These are out of range of us, and they are a pair of heavy cruisers. Excellent. You're going to be getting onto the B point here. Actually, this thing is going to cap by the looks of it, so we will just have our sweeper keep running here. Last game I played this fleet, I accidentally kind of may have run into my own mines. Bit of an oops there. My antenna was knocked out by incoming fire, and I was not paying attention to how close I got, so my mines triggered onto me instead of the enemy. Minor oopsies, so hey, what are you going to do, right? Okay, we can see that they are jamming us here, which is a little annoying. However, we are outside of their jamming effective range, so we are good on that regard. We're going to fire over here instead, adjusting accordingly. Set our default heading towards them. There we go. Yeah. Now we can see that there doesn't appear to be anything else out here exactly. Just going to sweep our early warning radar around. Sweeper is going to be heading this way. Turn off flank. I don't need to burn into thrusters. Now we are going to get a lock ideally over there. Oh, we can see a bunch of incoming missiles here. ARAD Axe Seeker type, so they should be able to counter these with some chaff and stuff. Oop. Ooh, okay. I think that one took a hit. That might be heck P. Hard to say. We can see some of the damage blow out there, so that's quite a bit of firepower. So we are also able to get a good lock on this one. We're going to mark it as... we're going to hit that one, actually. That way we're able to keep on target. Go. Going to have you moving backwards in a second. We're getting quite a few caps here, which is quite surprising. They did not contest up top, so that is good for us. We're able to move ourselves onto the top of this little rock shelf up here, and we'll just keep you hidden for now. For the E point, we're going to tuck ourselves against the rock over there. We don't see anything else, so... Because we've only seen, like, 1.5 fleets. Like, there was a singular Axford there. There's a pair of them here. So that's accounting for about, let's say, I don't know, 1.5 of their 4 fleets. There could be more stuff, and we don't know. So we're going to have to be careful over here. I'm going to swing my early warning radar and assume there might be something on the outside over here that we haven't scouted yet. I don't see anything because of the line of sight issue, unfortunately, but we'll hopefully able to keep ourselves in the know. We know roughly where they are. I'm going to send an attack ping over here, so that way I get a sense of them. Yep, there we go. Just line that up. There we are. Hello, you, and pew-pew. Set our heading roughly over there-ish again. We're able to get the underside of that spotted, so we'll just move down to get our arc on fire. There we are. Pew-pew. Anyways, we're going to be moving over here. I don't know if my mines will be close enough or not. Our goal with this thing is to set up a minefield next to this rock. Should be good that way, I think. So keep our early warning over here, kind of looking around, trying to spot the enemy and stuff. As for you, I'm just going to have you move over this way, because the enemy's not really done anything yet, and that concerns me. That means that they have something out there that we don't see. There it is. That's their play. Yeah, so we have a big old swarm up top here now. Bunch of piranha rockets firing out from these mass driver arrays. We're going to quickly go against that. I was wondering what we didn't see coming, so in this case, they came from above. I'm going to swing our early warning up top over here. Going to also order my ships to rotate and engage on these. Yeah, you see, we got quite a few hits on one of them. Going to change fire onto you. In this case, we need to now quickly counteract this play, so we're going to try and shred it with everything we got. Luckily, the monitors are pretty tough cookies, and they won't get knocked out by a whole bunch of missiles here unless they're HEC-P. That said, looks like we got a pretty good answer to them. They have guns on the front there, so we'll have to start taking them out pretty quick. They're not quite knocked out yet. This one is crippled by the looks. That one is actually dead. We can mark that killed. There we go. We're going to correct fire now onto whatever we can, trying to get our own guns contributing. We could draw a little closer and try and peck at them with our T-20s, but I don't want to get too close because that would box in them. All right, let's see. So we see these over here. We're going to swing our early warning radar, not our early warning radar, our bloodhound over if we can. There is the enemy as well coming in here. So we're going to have you guys move over like so. I just realized that I had not set them off the point there. Oh, more missiles coming out there, so we're going to just fire for effect on everything we can. Pew, 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 pew. Bunch of missiles coming out here. Rocket shells trying to counter. Yeah, they realized we had a mass driver array. They sent a whole bunch of their corvettes up high, and then that is their counterplay to what we have done. So now we know roughly. I want to say that this is like most of a fleet. They could have some more stuff around. We just aren't quite sure. I could do a rocket strike, but that's a heavy cruiser, so we won't be able to get that. Instead, I think the Cat fleet should be able to handle this handily. Yep, they've got 2 50s about to come around the corner. Does this thing have beam? I'm gonna call that out. I mentioned that has beam. Ag.
They've locked on.
Okay, so one of our ships has been locked on here, unfortunately. We need to take a look at what sees us is the axe repair. Okay, so we are going to go around this corner and try and provide some flanking suppression fire. Maybe not the most effective usage of rocket shuttling, but hey, it's better than sitting there, so either way. We're going to keep ourselves locked on target as best we can and move from there. Yeah.
Aye, aye, Commander.
All right.
We're moving.
As for you, I think that they don't have anything...
System failing.
Uh-oh.
Abandoned ship.
What did we lose? Okay, so you got hit by something or other. That's rough. You're going to go over the top, I guess, then instead. Have I set your heading or something? Nope. Okay, so they just have a bunch of RPF rounds by the looks of it. That's unfortunate. We will just try and get out of here. I
Aye, aye, Commander.
made a mistake, and I did not correct these assets.
What are our
Okay, so
orders?
that is not quite dead yet, but on its way out. We're going to fire Balcon posting on these guys instead, because they still have some meowsles. Don't want that to hit. All right, our sweeper over here, you should be pretty close, right? Yeah, we'll just deploy mines in case somebody comes down towards this point. They should be in range. Move ourselves ever so slightly closer, and we'll be good. All right, chat. We're kind of handling this. The sassy meat over here looks like it's taking a hit, or 12.
How can we help
We
today,
will just
Commander?
duck our rocket
Copy
shuttle
that.
down because
Moving.
it's actually the safest spot it can be now that it is out of the line of fire. See us repairing our systems
At the
there.
ready, Commander.
We could fire on this thing, but it's got a bunch of point defense still active on this side, so there's not really a point. Plus, it's already getting heavily beaten up by our bulk raiders there, so we're good on that regard. Just going to be trying to fire on these as best we
Aye,
can.
aye.
Swing our long-range radar over and see if we can't do that. Yep, this has been locked. Gonna mark this as the priority so we know which one of them is the priority target for our pair of Acellos over here. Acellos doing a pretty good job, just kind of laying down suppressive fire, trying to keep them off the point. We're ahead on a 4 cap here, and they're losing... I'd say they've lost probably about like a fleet's worth or so. I don't know how much was in this ship. These could have been very expensive missiles, and this is just like a entire fleet. And it's possible. We're seeing some pretty good damage going into it now. Just gotta keep firing my mass drivers on whatever I can get a good lock on, holding my...
Send your traffic.
Actually, I think that it will just be best for me to keep a lock over here on these guys, so we're going to move up our tug
Copy
independently.
that. Moving.
All right, let's take a look around. So the high shot is unfortunately a little bit cooked, but that's okay. We're just going to keep it moving past here.
On the way,
We don't have to
Commander.
use our rockets yet, so we won't. No sense wasting rockets when we already have answers. Oh, there's a enemy fleet that we can mark our positions of. Gonna call that out there. Actually gonna move back here. Anyways, as for the sweeper, which we've been trying to do this entire game, we're just gonna fire the mines and stuff. I don't know why it is kind of like, I don't know, it's overcorrecting in a weird way. It's strange. Anyways, we're gonna deploy a little cluster of sprint mines here. Just painting happy little
Send your traffic.
explosives onto the surface.
Command
Let's see
zone
now.
line.
As for you, the mass driver is going to be keeping on firing on things there. So we're going to change our target. That one appears to, in fact, be dead. Mass driver is very effective against light targets like this. They deal incredible damage against stuff that has... well, the way the mass driver works is basically like a missile's damage raise, just it's divided into rays of 33 instead of the usual missile's 50. So that can mess with the ability to break certain components. That said, when you get something like a sprinter, which has no damage reduction, it is highly, highly effective. Ooh, we are getting engaged upon here. Okay, yep, they have some frigates and stuff. So as missile frigate Wolfpack, indeed. Okay, I'm going to signal the attack marker here.
Missile reserve dry. Component disabled.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
Power grid
Gonna
repaired.
call that out where I saw it. So
System
call out
failing.
exactly what I saw there. So we know there's missiles.
Enemy is
Don't know exactly what they are going to be doing next. As for you, however, we're going to deploy the last of your mines, like so, and then we are going to go after
Running
this.
out of missiles, Commander.
There we are. So you now are going to get hit by a high explosive
Won't
shot.
know what hit 'em.
There we are. And that is your job. So in a second, actually, these are probably going to arm and fly towards it. So you know what? You need to actually get out of the way. Oh, crap. You might get hit by friendly missiles. Ah! Not again. Not again. On it. All right. So our little nesting eggs have been laid. We are going to correct our position now. This thing should get cleaned up pretty fast here. We could hit it with a missile, but I think that's overkill. Sprint mines just aren't quite in range, but we'll be able to fly over here and hit that thing. Yeah. Trying to cap the point, but is not going to be able to. As for you, I want you firing on... Let's go towards that Axford. So they're struggling to break this one, but this thing's been... Ooh, actually, that's a different Axford.
Commands on the
The
line.
enemy
Well, they should be able to handle that pretty well, I hope.
Today, Commander.
We'll just keep an asset in the backfield here. We got their point back, which is going to make them upset. As for you, you're in position now to recapture that point, so you will. As for you, let's go take actually a look over here. What do you
Roger
see?
that.
The enemy
well, they see me. That's less than stellar. Okay, so they have a ship here. I don't know what that is. Just a Corvette, but at the same time, not something that we have the ability to take out, so we're going to have to just correct for that. Ooh, that's a reactor detonation. That was not one of ours by the looks of it. So, okay. I believe that was one of their Axfords that went off. That was one of ours. Double reactor detonation. Yippee! Yay, fireworks. Anyways, we're going to keep our offset scouting assets here. So, mutual detonation. I think ours was more expensive, so that's okay. We're just gonna have you move over here-ish. There we are.
Yes, Commander.
We're gonna try and fire on some things that we can see, which is to say there's not really much. As for you, you're gonna fire your long-range track. We're gonna try and see if we can't hit that with mass driving. Yeah, that is our game plan. Let's see if we make it happen or not. Back on the B point here. We're firing on the, what's this, the Aroma. Yeah, putting in rounds where we can. I'm going to do a trick here where I switch over to Grape Shot because high explosives. High explosive is actually kind of hard to break reinforced components on these because it damage splits very well. But if we fire Grape Shot, there's a good chance that we'll end up killing the crew or inflicting a super critical that might blow up their reactor or something. I'm going to just start doing this now. They're very vulnerable to crew damage. They have a 60% base vulnerability. On top of that, our Grape Shot has like a 4 or 5x multiplier, so it's pretty much guaranteed to kill crew if we hit a module that has a damage control team in it. So here's us, fingers crossed, hoping. That said, we are also holding the B point thanks to us being on the cap. We are ahead on the points, and we should be able to contest here like this. Yep. There we are. Okay, so we need to see if there's stuff on the C point.
Commander.
All right. Early warning radar, you need to move up a little bit more. The sassy meat is still alive. I call that out to my team. Hopefully the the PP over here. PP versus sassy meat. These jokes write themselves, chat. I can't make this up. All right. As for you over there, hello. Am I getting missile? Nothing shoot at me. Ow.
5x5.
Stop it. So let's see. Hi, you. We need you to not be there, please. Thank you. Move over here. As for the sweeper, you should.
They're locking on.
Should be good.
Drives just spun to zero.
Oh, what?
Lost them.
What the?
All personnel to escape craft. Abandoned ship.
What the heck hit us? I didn't even see any missiles coming in. Damn. Okay, my awareness must have been lacking. I was just looking at the ship there, and then whap. Okay, so they're still firing some missiles around the place. That's rather annoying. I'm gonna set a orbit command here. I just flat out did not realize that they had stuff over there. Also, I'm a little sad that my minefield is just barely too far away to hit the B point. So they have a Sprinter Corvette there, and I know it. Ag. All right, let's see if we can. Earnest Warnings is going to. Okay, you need to move in a little bit, otherwise it will withdraw. So let's not do that. We'll swing your early warning down this way, see if we can't spot the thing on the point there. We are falling a little bit behind on points, so we have to adjust accordingly. We can see the little wolf pack of frigates over there doing their jobs. Trying to move in now and sweep. Yep, so they were very patient in this game, possibly too much so. They probably should have tried to engage us a little bit sooner, but we're going to be trying to do what we can here to get out of dodge. Move off course there. Pew, pew, pew. All right, so smashing this thing with all the mass drivers we can. Is it dead? It is dead. Confirmed. There we are. All right, that means that we have new targets then. You'd be so kind as to, like, tell me what is on the B point. I still can't see, rather annoyingly. Might be able to move closer, hit it with a Grape Shot and whatnot. We'll just need to secure our various points and go from there. Yeah. I think I can actually hold. That's a little too much for me to be able to hold. Yeah, they're just going to pepper me down with guns. They've already gotten some good hits off, so let's not risk getting that cap. Just going to move you up top here. As for you, that is a life pod, so we'll mark that as just killed. No sense in shooting life pods. We don't need to. Yeah. All right, let's take a look. So we know there's some frigate swarm there that we have to deal with, and we know that we're going to have to bring some things in. Let's see. Okay, early warning. So we're just going to pull what we can at the moment. You're going to be set up to try and take their A point once that fleet of ships moves off. They're moving towards the D point here, so we need to counter that with whatever we can. All right, let's take a look-see. So my job is to try and smack anything small. What is small that I can shoot at? Well, the Axfor's not exactly small, but...
Go ahead, command.
Those are not targeted towards me. Yeah. So they just saved up a whole bunch of their stuff until like the last bit of the game here, and now they're going to be trying to knock out pretty much everything we have. Kind of a big ol' reverse sweep as that fleet activates itself. I don't know where they were the like early game, but there's early warning radar, lock on target. There you are. You are going to get hit by all of our stuffs and things. Thank you. But we need to secure our point, which is how we're going to do this. I'll just send the spotty down at best speed, and we'll grab that. Let's see. So they are trying to move one of their sprinters onto point. That is rather annoying. We need to play forward with our mass driver liner, which I'm not super comfortable about, because I'm pretty sure these frigates over here still have missiles. Don't want to lose them. Let's see. As for you, you do have an arming missile. And the E point is there. This might end up losing us the early warning radar that we have, but I'm going to try and risk it. I know that they have at least a sprinter over here, but I'm hoping that it's unarmed, because it's just sitting there not moving. So fingers crossed. Let's set flank speed, because we will need to get back into this. They are rapidly approaching a 5-cap situation, which is not good for us. You'd be so kind as to fire the mass drivage. Thank you.
At the ready, Commander.
You're just, locked on target. That is the alarm sounds telling us that we have gotten a kill. Excellent. Let us go ahead and lock onto these things and then start trying to hit them instead. Just gonna clear the fire order and then go on it. There we are. So we'll be able to move on to the B point and get our cap back, since we have handily removed the threat. We just need to figure out what is now mass drivable. We still have some stuff left around the map, but it's a little bit haggard. They are pulling back, and I'm gonna try and do this cap here. Okay, we know that there's something over there because we saw it. I'm going to put an attack marker here as reference. Then with you, I'm going to try and point the early warning radar to see that. Or the, what do you call it? The Bloodhound. Yes.
Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
I know words, chat. I am English language.
Heading there now, Commander.
So, this side of the map is a little bit messy right now, to say the least. We're kind of picking up the pieces as both frontline fleets have rammed into each other. The bulk freighters are getting torn up. The, let's see. The Acellos still look like they're pretty healthy, but this is a 250 Acello, so it might struggle to kill off that Axford. We have a 450 Axford over here. Ideally, these would be swapped. Like, the 450s would engage these little tiny threats, and then we would go somewhere else with the bigger stuff. We're able to move the spotty over this way and hopefully get a track on. Let's see. Can I get a good lock on here? They're gonna see me in a second. That's good enough fire. Wham! Should be able to hold that for a second anyways as we move around. Yeah. Just need to get ourselves back in the game because, again, we are falling behind very quickly now as they've gotten 5 caps on us. We're taking them back. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. So, okay, as for you, you're just a naked capper, so that's fine.
Go ahead,
you can be number 5. You can be number 6.
Got you.
You are good to just keep yourself staying evasive here. RPF rounds hurt a little bit, but we should be able to get this cap in time to get out, like so. There we are. We'll just head back to our natural terrain. We know that they have a shuttle over there that's pecking away at us, which is rather annoying. Their fleet of their frigates have moved into position. Ooh, a decoy container. Very smart. Except it's kind of sandwiched into a rock, so. In this case, we're going to try and get fire art on stuff. Since they appear to be moving over this direction, we're going to change our target. There we are. Going to get back the B point here. Eventually, let's see, how long will it take? You will be here in about a minute. Now, I don't know if this thing is armed or not. I'm assuming that it is not. No. Okay, so important thing here, this ship does not have any offensive weapons. It's got a Panhard module, which is just a radar detector, which means it's probably been detecting our radar this entire time. That said, we have, if you look here, a little VLS-1. We have a singular offensive missile, the dummy. This means that we are an offensively capable ship, which means our cap weight is higher than this thing. So, this is why we love our ceremonial arming missiles, because they allow us to cap. It's a little bit silly to think about, but trust me, it's good. Well, it's good to run it. You don't want to be the guy without the ceremonial arming missile. Ooh, big beam firing across there. Okay, yeah, the Manic Monday is taking a little bit of heat. We're going to be trying to zoom ourselves at best speed over here so we can get some firing arcs on this thing. Trying to clean up where I can, but it's struggling a little bit here. As you can see here now, we were able to get this cap. Going to point my early warning over this direction, get that knowledge going. Yeah. All right, so we are getting our points back, which is good. I can turn off flank speed on you, and I can also do it for the distant gaze. That way we don't burn ourselves out. All right, we're getting caps back. Something just went critical. Where was that? I heard a kablooey. Where's the kablooey? What went kablooey? I swore that I heard a reactor dead. Like, I'm not going crazy, am I, chat?
Quiet. Commands on the
Anyways,
line.
let's see. So you are
Orders, Commander.
not on track anymore.
Go ahead,
Wonderful.
Command.
Let's set you up then
Aye, aye.
and go with that. Yeah. Should be around the corner here, getting us a arc in a second. We'll just move up a little bit more.
Course laid in.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Aye,
Nope. Where are you? There you are.
aye. Aye,
That one.
aye. Aye, aye.
Okay, you are good there. You, I want early warning down this direction. Thank you. You're fine where you are. Okay, the high shot, we've had you in the backfield like the entire game. We're just going to go for it, I think. We'll send you underneath the map like so, and then have you come up this way. That will cause a collision, but we will correct that in a second once we flip the map over. Yeah, the plan is we're going to sort of skirt by here, trying to keep ourselves out of line of sight. We will have to do a big area cross, but we should be fine. Just move you onto the point like so, onto the A. There we go.
Full power.
So, gonna try and back cap here. Most likely going to eat a missile, but hey, we will see if we live or not.
Yes, Commander.
Worst case scenario, we are able to get some damage dealt with it. I hope.
We are en route, Commander.
Your angling is super screwy right now. Why are you not on
We
target?
can take him.
Please shoot them. Thank you. All right, we're gonna keep you locked on
Aye, aye.
here as best we can.
Fire.
We have ideally got a angle here.
We'll be there before
See.
you know it.
Yep. So you're gonna eat a missile in a second. Not much I can really do about that. Ouch! Right in the drive, and then right into the CIC. Actually, wow, that hit the back of the ship, missed the drive entirely, and then sniped my CIC. That's actually kind of impressive. How did you thread the needle on that? Like, where did you... It must have, like, snaked in the top, hit, like, the antenna, and then dove through. That's really
How
impressive.
can we help today, Commander?
Totally not deliberate. I'm guaranteeing that, but...
Enemy is securing zone.
Anyways, let's see. These are the president's fleet, if I remember right. I think. Cone, Nixon. Yeah, these are presidents. Okay. We'll fire on the Trump first. That one is the lowest, so we'll have to try and get the damage dealt fast.
We hear you,
Pew
Commander.
pew. Yeah.
Go ahead, Commander.
Alrighty. Move the Spotty
out.
over. Yeah, Spotty's not in arc anyways. We'll just try and
Aye,
get
aye,
a low
Commander.
shot on it.
We're moving.
We should be able to win this off of 3 caps, so we're gonna go for that. Just inflicting damage on El Presidente over here.
Coming in
Bam, bam, bam,
fire.
bam.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
Commander.
Where are the missiles at? I heard missiles. This is not good.
Orders, Commander.
Okay, you have a gun, unfortunately. I don't have anything to contest that.
Gotcha, 5x5.
You know what? Because they haven't shot at us, just go for the
Aye,
direct
aye,
burn.
Commander. We're moving.
Straight for it.
Moving
There
out.
we go. Alright, that thing is not under command, so it should be pretty close to dead. Let's see, that one is dead indeed. Okay,
Awaiting
cool.
your
Gotta
orders,
change
Commander.
fire.
Tracking
Whop,
target.
whop. So it is our job now to start moving in and providing cleanup.
The enemy
It's a little risky for me to get closer, but at the same time, I think that we need to really bring our other guns to bear. So we're going to load up our high explosive shot and start getting as close to this thing as we can. Just fire mass drivers on everything while we got them. You know, have to try and make it so we get around the corner here. I think that, yeah, the Manic Monday should be able to zombie a little bit on point here, but there is beams active still. So this is pretty close right now. We're only ahead by a few points, so we have to do what we can with what we got.
Course laid in.
In this case, they're hitting us pretty good there, and they're knowing that. Say that I need the C point cleared. Luckily, over on the E point, we are still good here. They just have not managed
Copy
to
that. Moving.
move their asset off it, so it's quite good. It means that we have to keep one thing on
Aye,
it.
aye.
We're able to keep kind of aware of where the enemy is with our early warnings. You see me just trying to fire everything I got here onto the cone, I believe it is. Is that how you say it, cone? I'm not sure. I don't know the U.S. presidents that well. I've never met them, so yeah. Anyways, that's another one there.
Awaiting your orders,
right.
Commander.
Move myself this direction as fast as possible to try and get this thing in arc. We move very fast in the backwards direction. And by backwards, I mean like forwards and backwards. Bulk freighters are only agile in one axis, essentially. So if you try and move up and down with them, it's very bad. Try and move left and right, it's very bad. Front and back, though, is incredibly good. So when you're broadside to somebody like this, you need to scuttle like a crab. Remember, bulk freighters are just the next evolution of crab. As you see here, wah, wah. So I'm just going to mass drive all of these things. They should not have anything they can hit me with. Just going to order my ship to stop there and then start moving towards them again, try to keep up our velocity. As you see here, our side little flanking thrusters, they are struggling a lot. They're like 30% of the strength compared to like the main thrusters. So, yeah. All right. As for you, you are stuck on a rock, aren't you? Yes, yes, you are. I was afraid this might happen. All right, you're going to go below after all. There you go.
That. Moving.
Go get him, high shot. Actually, adjust your course a little bit so you're better
On
angled.
the way,
Sweet.
Commander.
Order flank speed. Just need a head full. Unfortunately, we are missing the main engine. Well, we're missing half the main engine. All right, let's see. The Nixon over here should be hittable. Okay, gonna mark that one as killed. Thank you. Double check and confirm. Yep, it is in fact dead. Mass drivers doing their job here of just kind of cleaning up a bunch of the enemy's little assets and stuff. I'm pretty sure this thing is combat incapable. I'm really hoping this goes over towards the B point and then gets hit by mines. That would be delicious. We're going to keep our early warning. Oop, that's the wrong one. Early warning locked on it. Actually, that's our long-range track, not our early warning. Correction, chat. Oh, somebody has surrendered. I believe that was one of ours, unfortunately. Okay, they are not on the point here, so we're going to try and go for this. Set flank ahead. We have the arming missile. Okay, this thing is getting shot up here, thanks to Edge with like a few guns, I think. He's trying to... Oh, crap. Okay, do we have an arc on that? We do. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lock on like this. We're going to spin the whole dang ship. Because we should... Yeah, I think we've cleared everything on the point there. Excellent. All right, so... Just going to fire all those. This thing... I don't know if this will deal damage, but we're going to fire AP rounds on it anyways, just to make it annoyed. So we're going to try and move ourselves down to contest stuff here. Go. Gonna burn onto a point here. Still pretty close game. We are coming ahead. 220 points to win versus they've got 320. So we just need to hold on to our 3-cap lead. They can still reverse it. A bunch of their ships are crippled. So is a bunch of ours. We saw this thing eat a whole bunch of beam earlier, I believe it was. Or maybe it was the other one. Yeah, this thing looks like it's been torched pretty good. So trying to hold on with what we got. Mass drivers firing out from our friendlies there. We're gonna fire on this. And for, you know, spite. AP rounds going in. I so hope that you come around the corner and hit my mines, please. I've laid these things like... This was like the match start. I was struggling so hard to get them. Please, please, please come over here. Oh, Admiral YOLO has surrendered, so that was one of them, actually. So yeah, 2 of them have thrown in the towel. Just a confirmation. Which ones are these? I do not hear alarm bells on this. Oh, that's the whole game. Yippee! But also, oh no! So close to our mines. They were like, was it? Yeah, they're like getting so close to the activation range. But still. That was GG from everyone there. Yep. Let's give them a GG. Well played and what not. Yeah, I'm very happy with how that game went. We'll take a look through our team and stuff. So we saw the Cat fleet over here. Got some respectable damage. Came around the corner with a bunch of 250s and really chewed up that Axford there. So nice to see all that firepower coming about. That's like almost... That's that 2,700 points worth of bulk freighter against a Axford. Yeah, so that's a respectable amount of firepower. Was it this one? No. They must have disconnected and inherited their fleet to somebody, because this is like only half a fleet. Where'd the other one go? Yeah, these 2... Okay, so yeah, it was a 3,000 point liner. It just had a whole bunch of super expensive missiles that it had over there, and that thing ended up getting shredded in close quarters. So that put us ahead for the front line. As for the Axfords over here, a bunch of RPF rounds. So yeah, they had 250 and beam turrets trying to go for that close quarters combat angle. Beam turrets very nasty at 5 kilometers and below. So Admiral YOLO had a whole bunch of these little Corvettes and stuff. See, they've got the 120 guns and a bunch of the missiles here. Heck bees. Ooh, spicy. Yeah, they went after our mass driver array and got some hits on it. Yep. I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, and Marlowe had a bunch of these little frigates here with a bunch of missiles in that. Nerd. Oh, yep, sorry. There, Falcon. I know I'm late. I'm just finishing up here, just going over the last plates. I'll be on it a bit. This was my thing I had to go for at 8 that I totally have not overloaded onto. Anyways, Cat Fleet did well. Shout out to Edgelord for holding the line with those Acellos. This one got gutted pretty well. This one's still combat operational. Managed to do 20k. Just look at that engagement list here as we get the mass driver doing all that stuff. Our rocket shuttles never ended up firing their shots now that I think about it. The high shot just never got a hit. And then we had, PJs, thank you for the follow. I've seen you, Nebulous. Then, yeah, we had the mass driver array that kind of got hit by missiles, but recovered a little bit there. So, with that said, there's quite a few of you, so I'm just going to do my closing statements of that. This can be our last game of the stream. I've been NekoboyBlue, your local cat boy who likes to play a funny spaceship game and a couple other titles that interest me. If you like what you see, you can follow my Twitch for more things to disappoint you with. I've got Twitter where I post my schedules and notifications before I go live. We're probably going to be back on Friday to play with Doc Vivi on her stream with some other people there because they're cool. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and find somebody to raid, and I'll pass you all off for that. And then I'm going to go get yelled at by people because I am late. So I will see you all when I do, which should be on Friday, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Who is currently doing stuff? Speaking of, actually, well, Vivi is live. She's playing Homeworld. Let's keep the spaceship train going. Yeah, go say hi to her. She's local cat girl and does things. Yeah. Until next time, I've been NekoboyBlue. Have a good one, chat. I will see you next time.